with the bets after that. There's a chance. There's a chance we go all the way here. But again, it has to be noted that Mouseboards have not lost a single map this entire tournament. So it's kind of, I think it's hard to lay odds for, to be honest with you. And I don't know, bearing that in mind, it feels kind of strange that NIP are the favorite in the eyes of Unicorn for this one. But let's see. Maybe there were heavy numbers laid on them earlier on.
Oh, they have Deva. And that should make a difference. Instant headshot around the corner, but it's not enough. Hampus is not going to be able to get that kill. Instantly traded, though. So we're back into a 4-on-4. And Rops is currently waiting for them to come right up here into the open. Rops hears those steps, and he's going to get the flank. Nice little headshot. Falls back. Doesn't even take any damage. Excellent work so far.
Creating space for the trade. And there's still a chance for the Ninjas. They are together with the bomb on long. Engaging Dexter. There's a USP for device.
With a minute still on the clock, there's actually a lot of time for him to work with here. BMAS still down on that B site, but he is rotating into water. Exactly. He's rotating into sewers to get close to connector so you can cut off that rotation if Ninjas and Pajamas were to try and hit B site. NIP don't really, I mean, they can assume that there's some kind of flank, and that's exactly what Device is checking for right now. They're thinking that perhaps T-Spawn has been compromised. What a weird pistol round. NIP are usually very tight on their pistol rounds. There's usually a game plan that they stick to. Here, I mean, this is just pure chaos.
Just trying to find an entry, trying to find somebody caught out. Wrong place, wrong time, trying to land that headshot. See Plopsky's just waiting. Bomb spotted now towards A. Let us start to see B rotating. We got kills either side from A court for a 1-0 start for Mouseboards.
That bodes well. I do agree with the point that Launders was making going into this, that A-Core, you know, this is where it's going to be, this finals is going to be his proving ground, I think. He needs to ramp up. Maui was also making that point that his stats have kind of dropped progressively as the tournament kept getting deeper and deeper. And that is kind of a trend that we've noticed with A-Core, where as you get deeper into the tournament, he tends to start missing more and more shots. So hopefully this is where he puts an end to that, puts a stop to it, and starts really going toe-to-toe with Device, because that's why another reason why I went with NIP on my prediction is that the op is so important. We just saw how that kind of screwed up Astralis versus Big. Them still trying to figure out their op identity, who actually has the op, who takes the role, and who can snipe. The fact that I think Device should consistently out-op A-Core, I think is too big a difference to make up. But we'll see.
Surge into the B bomb site. One flashbang and off they go. Bemis drops immediately. Plopsky spamming with a Tech 9. Loads of bullets, but Dexter is still alive with a third frag, in fact. Did more than was reasonable in that position, and A-Core will stop the bomb from being planted as Device tries to make it to the wooden panels. Great individual play from Dexter to find 3 kills there. No plant for Ninjas in Pajamas. They will be on $2,500 to $3,000. So very good start indeed from Mousepad. Some nice bonus money there with the MP9 kills as well.
They'll need to hope that they can get a bomb plant in this round, because this is a hard eco now for NIP, so even more difficult. A bomb plant last round would have been terrific, would have really set them up for a very strong 4th round bye. But now, I mean, it should be that round loss bonus gathering up here for NIP. They do manage to sneak a couple players past top mid, and so A-Core, dude, that was a split second too early. Had it like even a quarter of a second later, that would have done some serious damage. But as it stands, Mouseboards, I think they got a read on the situation that this is a hard eco. They should assume as much. And so we should see Mouseboards just kind of playing comfortably from the sites here, looking for those long-range duels against these Glocks. There is a Deagle, so that's a little bit of money spent here by Rez. So we'll see. Can he actually catch somebody out in the open here?
That jump picking will surely be heard as they approach the toilets. And I would imagine somebody will try to go for a 1D. I say somebody, Rez is the only man with the Deke. There we go, he is fishing for it now, and that will stop the jumps from Frozen. He's got to be careful. I was going to put an NIP sticker on my print stream, and then I realized I had the undercover complexity stickers on there. Can't really see them. Can't see Rez anymore either. He has expired in round number 3. Frozen's been dropped though. Now there's a chance for a bomb plant. We can see immediate positioning from additional CT and Rops to clean up. No bomb plant. That will be denied again. But 2 kills is pretty good in that round. It's almost a full-on eco. Just a Desert Eagle and a few bits and bobs. Not too shabby.
Terrific. That's actually really terrific. 2 kills on that. That's really solid. They didn't get the bomb down, so this just doesn't mean right now that they'll be able to get full nades for a device on the AWP, but you know, the rest of them are pretty well equipped. So all in all, this turned out pretty nicely here for NIP. Keep in mind they get money for when they kill as well, so that can make up for it a little bit. Molly in. Device was hoping for some early aggression in connector. Not going to see anybody though. And this is the guessing game now between these 2 oppers. Where are they going to be posted up on this map?
Rops flashed off the angle. And fade away. You never know if there's a repeat behind that flashbang, but there won't be. So Ninjas in Pyjamas have established some presence towards long, and MOUSESPORTS will change their setup to the toilet position. Frozen and Rops working together now. But they have to wonder about long. I can't imagine NIP will just go straight to the bomb site, but eventually they will have to wonder. And indeed, Acor will be that 3rd man heading over towards A. I'm sure they'll have a look towards the long position, figure out what's going on. The question is there a device waiting for him, posted up himself? And it looks like to some degree that there is. Oh, he's going to go into it as well. The angle still being held, Plopsky taken out. It's a lot of information found by Acor, but he cannot hold position. There's a gap in that smoke. NIP could pursue, but they're rotating away, it seems. Frozen may find this. Dexter with a nice angle as well. So it looks like a plan B or a plan C for Ninjas in Pyjamas. The sound cues are here. They make their way downstairs, and they might even have a chance to plant the bomb. Dexter moving into position, looking for a 5th kill. Oh man, that angle from Frozen. He said he would be integral to a victory for MOUSESPORTS, and he's definitely showing that, but so is Dexter. Lead by example. 5-1, just like Rops.
It's the best way. Yeah, that's the best way. Lead from the front, take the fights, get in there. And hearing some chatting right now, we are going to have a quick tech timeout called. So hopefully nothing too crazy. We'll be able to get back to underway fairly soon here. That was just getting caught step after step after step. Device getting no value with that AWP in that round. Unfortunately, I'm wondering if he was just thinking that Acor was going to get clever with the positioning. Because just looking, you know, that's going to be the main focus, the main head-to-head kind of battle here between these 2 oppers. And Acor on that CT side when he has that AWP versus where Device wants to set up to try and catch him. And within the first 20 seconds of the round, Acor really hot towards that birthday area and also towards brackets like banana bracket area. He's really there, but he does go connector every now and again. Rarely, but he does. And so I'm wondering if Device was thinking, okay, he'll just throw that in there early to try and punish. But it just didn't come up good this time. So yeah, aggressive peek from Acor top mid. Little info gained.
We've seen a number of slow starts from Ninjas in Pyjamas in these series. And it's another one here on overpass. MOUSESPORTS though, out of the gates immediately. Bemis has not had much to do. Rops, Frozen, Acor and Dexter with the heavy output. And they all have, there'll be 3 of them on this B bomb site, Bemis included. Dexter, they're lining up for him, good for 1, but look at the kills flying through from the Ninjas. Rops misses a shot. I feel like there's some, I think there's some kind of thing where you see 2 targets and sometimes your brain fires between them.
Yeah, that's where you can really see the difference with the pros. They rarely make that mistake of getting caught in between the 2. But this time around, it just doesn't pan out, and we're going to get a bomb plant on a hard eco situation, essentially. I mean, Nip, they had the Galil, sure. But past that, they didn't have much to work with, and yet here we are, bomb planted on the site. Fantastic here for NIP. Pulling a fast one on MOUSESPORTS.
Yeah, those 2 kills, the 2 entries to the 1 frag of MOUSESPORTS very early on was integral to the take of the bomb site. And then Rops was unable to hold or deliver. So it will be Acor and Frozen to hold on to these rifles. Dexter can perhaps drop 1 and buy for himself. Yeah, it should be all right to do that. So we'll see what they choose to do. Just waiting for 1 player to reconnect to the server. Overpass, still my favorite map of the map pool at present. We will see how Ancient develops over time.
It's your favorite map. I didn't know that.
Overpass is my favorite map for sure, yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Why is that? It's the least played.
It's a great technical map. You can have a lot of fun. If you're playing A on CT, for example, with an AWP, and you have a guy working with you as rifle support, there are so many different setups you can do. You can play from the site and flash him long. You can do all kinds of fun stuff. I know a fair bit about the B-bomb sites as well. I learned all the grenades on T side.
You have somebody there to help you. You actually have a rifler who's willing to set up with you to watch.
If I'm pugging, I'll find out if the guy's going to work with me. If not, I'll play B because it's pointless otherwise.
There you go.
But
I was about to say, like, did you have a unicorn too?
So it's yeah, there's a lot of fun you can have on this map. Running down connector is another one of the AWP, taking a quick shot. Very satisfying to get to land a flick there and then escape afterwards. A swing and a miss on this occasion for MOUSESPORTS. We've seen such an interest from T sides in the B bomb sites as well. With overpass, Bemis avoids the flashbang somehow. Eats second one, doesn't fire any bullets though. Maybe spraying into that tunnel might have been an idea here. As we have the entries again from the ninjas. Good grenade damage though, and maybe they can follow up on that 2v3. Double AWP retake attempt for MOUSESPORTS, and Device already has the angle. But how about this peek from Acor? That man knows his angles. That was a really sick peek, but there's more to do. 2 versus 2. You'd imagine that one is stuck on the bomb site, going for some tags through the wood. There we go. Finally landing one. 4 HP now for Plopsky. You can see Rops on the low ground in the meantime. He has an incendiary. That goes towards the side, then Plopsky is done for.
You almost want to see it.
Oh! Well, that will change everything. That's a flick from Acor. He came into this one ready. We spoke about landing shots and so on. He landed that one and then some.
Dude, he's sitting at 10 kills right now, Acor. So
that's what you want to see.
It's what you want to see, especially when, you know, I mean, this is the kind of thing where it's like, yeah, you're happy to be wrong in this case, right? Because you don't wish a player underperforms. But when you do notice that a player has been statistically underperforming on his team, it's like, okay, you have to point it out. But for him to show up like this in the first half of the grand finals and just get into double digits before anybody else, it's like, okay then, fantastic. We're off to the races here for MOUSESPORTS.
If he delivers in this series, then for me, I'll put those comments to rest at this point. Because from when he joined, I was like, okay, all right, let's see if he's able to step up to the mantle. And we have seen that in this tournament. We have seen more of that consistency that a lot of us have been looking for with him. And he looks dangerous with the fashion in which he's landed some of these kills. Proactive Pistoleros on the counter-terrorist side here for MOUSESPORTS. Taking some map control very quietly indeed, trying to have the A's NIP place heading towards the trap. Rops has a nice awkward angle. Very patient with the deagle as well. Respecting it for it to give him some accuracy. Well then, maybe you have a fast bomb plant here for the ninjas. That'd probably be to their benefit. We'll see if they've planted it for the more exposed fashion, the high ground and such. So many players towards short B now, and Device will be looking for them, but there's a flank on the way as well, which will compromise his position. That's a lovely headshot, and he holds the position for short B as well. Device, that's why he's on the team, and that's why NIP might be the favorites in this series.
Well, in the last series, if I remember correctly off the top of my head, he was the only player to go positive for NIP. So that is certainly the big performance, you know, from Device, showing that I like that there was a little bit of speculation, you know, is Device reliant on that framework that he had on Astralis, and so would he be able to perform without that framework there to support him? Or, you know, will he be that star that NIP brought him on to be? And, well, yeah, he certainly has shown that against G2. Plus 24 KDA, like that is monster. The only guy next one was Rez, but even Rez was in the red. So between the two of them, there is quite a bit of firepower right now on NIP, and Device can be that superstar to take over and make the difference for the team. So 3 rounds on the T side now for NIP on overpass. Dexter playing this very carefully, but unfortunately for him, this should be a win, yep, for Plopsky. So nicely done there by Plopsky, keeping his cool, holding that angle. Gonna get a second chance as well. He sees the feet, but he starts moving. And just like that, blink of an eye, MOUSESPORTS have turned it completely around.
Aiko elevating his position. It's going to be hard to flash that spot, at least with that particular flashbang. Somehow Device gets his molly out, and he's in the clutch once more. 47 seconds, and they're coming from all directions. Switches out for the AK-47 for the multi-frag. Connector doors open, which makes it even worse. Off angles can be held. We'll deploy the smoke for that reason. That will advance Rops, who's coming through from T-spawn now. But Device may be inviting a closer rotation with this utility, looking towards CT, but Rops will have the angle from the back, of course. And it's a 5th round on the board for MOUSESPORTS, a second AWP collected as well. And it may be comfortable for now.
Yeah, and it is, it's worth pointing out as well, just the firepower that's on MOUSESPORTS and just how incredibly proficient they've been. Not dropping a map all tournament means, you know, okay, fine, they've only played 8 maps versus some other guys like, Nico playing 14, you know, but Rops and Frozen have just been battling for the highest rated player in the tournament so far. Between the two of them, they're absolute monsters. So, again, you got to keep your eyes on Rops, you got to keep your eyes on Frozen, because those guys are just going to town for MOUSESPORTS. Bam, beautiful shot from Aoros to kick things off, not going to get caught by that flash.
Yeah, he needs some help to escape, but he may have to fight and die on his sword, and he will do exactly that. Very awkward position for him. Didn't really have the space to peek into where Hampus was coming from without it being very disadvantageous. Flashbangs never came fast enough. In those situations, it can feel like an eternity pulling a grenade out, figuring out where to throw it and such. And I'm sure it'll feel that way for Aoros in round number 9. It's a meaty HE grenade, good for about 50 damage. Oh, not very nice at all, is it? Not palatable.
That hurts so much.
As Frozen got the flicks here. Oh! Just as he swings his rifle, obscures his vision of Device. Rob's really tracking with that AWP. He's missed a few shots now with this sniper rifle. There's a chance for 2 for Bemis. Hold on a second. This is actually clutchable. Bomb planted on the A bomb site. Deploying some more flashbangs as well as he makes his way forward. Hampus now, does he have an angle? I think he may do. Spotted him, Bemis making it tough. Just needs a 1 versus 2. Grenades deployed, Device waiting to swing. And there it is, he picks the right timing.
Ooh, and they managed to save the AWP for the next round as well, so Device will be able to pick that one up and go to town. Bit of a late spawn behind here, so we'll see where he decides to set it up. Unfortunately, did not get a quick spawn for an early peek. Beam is showing up to the party, though, starting to have an impact. Solid work from him, but that is still a 4th round on the board now for NIP, and a 4 spy coming in here from MOUSESPORTS. Everything on the line, 2 rifles, an AWP, and a couple of pistols. Not the best, but again, NIP not the best spawn for them, so early aggression would have been difficult. Instead, they elect to hold angles and see if MOUSESPORTS were going to try and make a play. So yeah, you can see little boosts coming in. We're going to start getting some of those gimmicks in here. See if they can catch some something for free. Of course, that's exactly what you hope to achieve. Oh, bullet rain. Haven't seen that in a while. Nice
Easily
shot.
avoided, but the headshot is not. Rez in control now of the long position. Frozen starts to creep into the toilets with the 5-7. Some quiet rotation elsewhere as MOUSESPORTS head upstairs, it looks like. Just like the old eco rounds when Overpass first came out. Lots of camping on the A bomb site. Although not many of those had an AWP. Lost and found. Dexter will pick it up. Will they check for Frozen's angle? He's close enough with the 5-7 for a 1-shot. Has an AK now, and Bemis is here to help. Holding down a long position, got a shadow advantage, and he's alone now, Bemis. Not many places he can go with those flames ups and pre-fire from Plopsky. Needs to swing with his teammate. ZTR gets there eventually. Think is waiting for a flashbang. And round will go the way of Ninjas in Pajamas. The score is tied now, 5-5. But the money is not. MOUSESPORTS are broke.
MOUSESPORTS are flat broke now. That was an all-or-nothing kind of move from MOUSESPORTS that last round, forcing up. Now they are going to have to go for Deagles. A couple of guys had a little bit more money, but yeah, 3 Deagles in the USPs. Okay, then. Aoros going to be seeing what he can do in this round as well. But that is NIP fully geared up, and they know what they're going up against, so they've got a couple of MAC-10s as well to see if they can't get their farm on here. Plopsky taking points towards B. No time at all wasted, just straight charging out there. Hampus and Plopsky just marking the B defense. Acor, what can you do? Not a lot, and just avoid these MAC 10s. I love that Nip put the MAC 10s first. That is how it is supposed to work. I love to see it. Make the money with the MAC 10s. It's the whole point. So Frozen now, what are you going to do? 1v5. Not a lot. Very quick round, though. Quick and decisive round coming in from NIP. That's a bully round. They're not going to give MouseSports a chance to just lurk around and, you know, play rat CS and see if they can't catch a trap there. No. Just go charging straight through and bully them. You love to see it, Bardolph.
Would you pick this Deagle or a Deagle Blaze?
This Deagle.
I sold my Deagle Blaze.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the Deagle Blaze. I know Nico has one. Right, there's still a few players rocking the Blaze, but I would take the Prince Stream, personally.
Yeah. I got rid of mine. Doesn't feel legendary like some other skins. Oh, he's rocking that full Prince Stream life with the M4.
I respect that.
I have a red loadout on CT, so hot rod for me. I'm using the hot rod silenced M4.
I think that's my gloves wouldn't match with the Prince Stream M4.
What gloves have you got?
Got the Force D-Pat.
So oh, yeah.
You know, it's kind of like hard to...
It's not the best contrast.
Right now I've got that old Vietnam skin going, whatever it is. But yeah, we're figuring it out.
The Asimov, certainly a classic weapon in this game. The Kenny S special, having a look-see, announcing its presence, and then falling away to rear its ugly heads. With an element of surprise in a different position. You can see Acor posted up on long now. That's a deep flashbang though. Oh my god, it's a close shot as well. You may try to escape with a smoke. Indeed, you will. Off he goes. Oh, that's going to spread. Oh, that's painful. Oh, this is... Oh, it's risky.
How did he live? Okay, finally.
Oh, man. I like the confidence, though. The man is getting greedy. Oh, man, Frozen. This is becoming extremely awkward now for MouseSports. Just a disaster around this AWP of the toilets. A round to forget, perhaps.
No way! What is going on?
Yeah, that's an avalanche.
They've lost every duel, and now Device feels so confident. He's just straight up out here hunting with an AWP. Dude, that's a valuable gun. MouseSports will want to save that. Hampa, ZTR, and Plopsky just hightail it over here, though, and they see the op, so okay. They know that BMS hasn't pushed in here. Now, ZTR just going to snag that, and I like this gun management coming out here.
Weapon disposal service.
Yeah, very good. Wait, wrong one. Oops. He just threw the op up on the roof.
Oh dear.
Oops. Wish you had that back.
Rez just appears all of a sudden, and then Bemis is dead. Well then, we have 4 rounds in a row for Ninjas in Pajamas. 7 of the last 8 rounds. MouseSports, where has your success gone? What has become of it? Well, they won't be able to tell us just yet. They'll be on eco territory once again, and that's a significant turnaround. It's a mere fact that that started with the AWP outstaying its welcome, then trying to retrieve the AWP, getting shot in the head through the wall, then full focus on the toilets and 3 kills from long. Went from bad to worse. A disastrous round for MouseSports, and it may change the outcome of these coming rounds. Likely to do so for this one, with the pistols and odd piece of Kevlar and grenades for MouseSports. This is one where hope is a factor for them. Hoping for some variant for a mistake.
Well, they're about to walk into a stack right now, so this is going to get spicy for Nip. Unless they can get a quick couple of kills. You can see the nades coming in. ZTR spotted the man short, at least. Element of surprise has not been lost. BMAS just spraying through this smoke, though, with the dig. Hampus will remove him, bringing it back to a 4-on-4. But ZTR is taking a lot of damage. This is a spicy situation for Nip if they continue to be bullish about this. There we go. All right, now they may start to stabilize here. Smoke's clear, that's gonna limit the room. Now we're gonna get Plopsky on the flank, and Plopsky with the triple spray. Nice work. 8-5 for the NIP. They are looking better and better, Bardolph.
Yep, indeed they are. Okay, someone's game crashed. There'll be a brief pause, but
that spray transfer was so disgusting that it crashed Dexter's game.
MouseSports will be back on the bye. I feel like this half is closing out pretty quickly. There's only 2 rounds left.
Yeah.
Feels like it just started.
It's going fast.
Yeah.
It is definitely going fast right now. So, seems, I mean, NiP, you are no strangers to running the clock. They will run the clock down if they feel like that's what they need to do. But right now, they've been doing such a good job of breaking Mousesports' economy over and over again that they feel confident that they can just play quick into these pistols. I mean, to be fair, out of what, the last 9 rounds, Mousesports have only won 1 round. This has been nothing but NiP now on this T side. NiP's T side, though, I mean, to be fair, their T sides have been pretty fearsome on Overpass. This is definitely in their wheelhouse. They've flexed hard on teams all tournament long on this T side. So we can't act too surprised that NiP are mauling Mousesports here. What's going to be really interesting is to see what Mousesports have in store for us on their T side when they get to have their turn on the offense. And that's just so unfortunate.
Oh dear, outpositioned, and this one is collapsing very fast for Mousesports. Looking for that individual performance once again. Haven't seen too much of that from Frozen just yet. But there's plenty more CS to come. Rob's now looking for that second kill by the truck. They're lining up for him, but no kill. 4 versus 2. The way forward is very difficult for Mousesports, and I would imagine the way backward is the way to try and save for the last round. See Dexter going for the save there. Well, it's a pretty good half from NIP. As far as they're concerned, I'll be content with the current situation, the current proceedings. Mousesports won the pistol, right? I believe they did.
They did.
Indeed. So
the following 3 rounds.
Yeah, that proves very crucial now. So especially considering they won the pistol, it's pretty much as many rounds as you could ask for Ninjas in Pajamas. So pretty solid position for them. This is their pick. Oh dear. That leaves Beamers with 3750 in the last round. So that's not really
ideal
at all, is it?
No, this is not a good situation for Mousesports at all right now. They really do need to get this last round. They need to do everything they can to get this last round. But they're so limited. Frozen going for the auto shotty. So I wonder if he's going to go post up in connector right now, see if he can catch somebody getting aggressive over there. Always an option. Got a decent spawn for it too. He's going to be right behind Acor. So we may get Acor, Frozen working together here. Frozen straight down into Con. And we'll see if he can get some joy with that auto shotgun. If it will bring him pure joy. In the meantime, NiP taking over long now. A little bit of map control for them here. Device is cleared out mid. And what a flash. Device finding Acor as well. That is it. A site open for business.
5 versus 3. 498 HP NIP.
NIP looks supremely confident right now.
Yep. And this one is very quickly reaching its conclusion in the first half. And we look set to have 10 rounds on the board for Ninjas in Pajamas. Look, they're planting the bomb. Look how much utility they have left. NIP. It's nuts.
Just start throwing it too, yeah. Just get that utility out there. Really just win everything. I mean, what are you going to do? You've got nothing on Mousesports' side. There's a molly, then a smoke. There's a fresh smoke on stairs. It's like, what are you going to do?
Yeah, they may never see this bomb sites at this point.
Another one.
Flashes as well. Now NIP will look to take liberties. There's no diffuse kit either for these players. Just looking to pad the stats now. Oh, 180 from Robs. Nice play from him. Well, got some flashy kills towards the end of the round. But indeed, it will be 10 rounds for Ninjas in Pajamas on their pick of overpass at halftime. Looking very strong indeed. Not starting cold for once in this series. We'll see if it continues after the break.
This is Keyboard ASMR with James Barlow. This is my Nightfox keyboard. I've got Zelio switches in here, 78G. This is the spacebar. Launders gave me this key. This is a shotgun keycap. This is a burger. I've got big springs because I go hard in the paint. This is my Scrabble key sets. This is DSA coffee, 60% with a champagne case because I'm extravagant. The enter key says brew. This is Zelio 67G because sometimes you gotta mix it up. Lighter springs for the plebs.
And we're back. Hope
Home
that made you
sweet home.
uncomfortable. Where's this?
I'll be there in 48 hours, Bardolph. I'll be there in 48 hours. I used to live not too far from there. See, that is Stockholm. That is Sweden, and that is where these players are fighting to be at the end of the year. The World Championship, the major, will go down right here in Stockholm. Driving distance from my home. We're going to be there, boys. We're going to be there.
But is it cycling distance somewhere? Could I go on a skateboard?
You could.
Marvelous.
Yeah, definitely could.
The Avicii Stadium. No.
Indeed.
No longer the
Changed it up
Globe
from the
Arena.
Ericsson. It is no longer the Ericsson Globe. Now they just renamed it. But still the same globe. Still the same awesome arena.
If
and
you
it's going to
do-
be awesome to have CS there once again.
If you do make it to Stockholm and you're not from the area, look out for the scam taxi drivers at the train station. I got a
Come again.
taxi. Because they got the official taxis on one side, right? And next to them, they've got the dodgy taxis. Okay, like a guy with a Mercedes or whatever. I was like, oh, okay, I'll hop in the car. Like, surely it's a normal taxi. Otherwise, why would they just allow him to be like there? So I got a taxi from the train station to the Ericsson Globe, as it was called at the time. It took all of 3 minutes, and he charged me 60 euros for it.
Well, okay.
So I invoiced it to DreamHack, so it was fine.
And now we know why they've had to sell out to ESL. Fair enough.
I feel like, people should be inform you of these things, so there we go. That was the cost to move my suitcases, so
Be warned.
yeah, so I invoiced it. I know what you want from me. Mouseboards on the T side now, heading towards the A-bomb site. Rops has the range with a P250, but they're closing that range now, which will be advantage Glocks because there'll be more bullets and the moving accuracy is not too shabby either. Ampus now trying to stay alive and able to do so. USP frag from A-Core, collecting as they go on. Bomb plot being attempted. Device is emerging from that smoke, but can't do enough really. Mouseboards now win the T-pistol, both pistol rounds won by Mouseboards, and maybe that will be the difference maker.
I mean, fortunately for them, they won the pistol round in the first half, or this would be an even more one-sided scoreline right now going into the second. So Mouseboards getting the job done on this T side. Fantastic work from them. That's exactly what had to happen. And I think we're going to see a lot of that punish going on to Rez in Overpass Restrooms. That's really his stomping ground. He loves to play in that 3x3 meter room. And just... I feel like teams need to take more and more advantage of that. It really is his spot on the map. And so I think, Mouseboards running up long like that, they're probably expecting to see him there, and that's a free kill that gives them the man advantage.
Well, here comes the push into the short B position. But Frozen has the angle holding down for his teammate. The short B position. ZTR on device. This force buy looks like a brief one. There'll be a trade frag immediately. So much position taken. Device looking for the headshot now. He's got a few candidates, but none really accepting his offers there. In fact, they'll deny it with extreme violence. And then the score is now 10-7 for Mouseboards. Nothing but force buys we're seeing in these second rounds. Not quite paying off just yet.
No, has been actually pretty decisive in favor of the team that won the pistol. So good, going against the trends that we've been seeing, that we've been picking up on this tournament, where many second round force buys were getting won by teams. I think at one point up to 40% of them were getting won, so that is outrageous. But yeah.
It's the money-making round. It's the paper round, if you will. Dexter will be fishing with the Mac-10. Gets his bell rung, and that'll be Plopsky looking to capitalize, but Rops is here. He is the safety officer, health and safety officer. He's got his high visibility jacket on and his hard hat. And he politely makes his exit. 4 versus 4, not much for Ninjas in Pajamas to offer. Just really need to try and get a frag or two and focus on the round to come.
Oh, staying sharp, staying focused, that's the name of the game here for MOUSESPORTS. Also, making a bit of money. Acor going to be very pleased with picking up these kills with the MP9. $600 per kill with the SMG, so it makes a big difference compared to the 300 that you normally get, or the 100 you get with an AWP. So, Acor again, just out here. Surprise, surprise, gets the shot, and bonus $1,200 in his pocket. That's for your offer as well. That's just going to make him all warm and fuzzy. Can even just go straight, just go for the AWP, Acor. Just by the, yeah, okay. Throw that MP9 away, get the op, yes. All right, but let's see. This is going to be the big round. Very curious to see where Device's Ice is set up. Does like to go for the birthday party peak towards top mid Device. Definitely one of the common spots, but it's looking like he's going to head down stairs first. As far as MOUSESPORTS are concerned, this is a very default kind of approach from them to begin with. Sit and wait. Acor was ready for the birthday peak. Rez in his usual spot over here at mid restrooms. Towards long, this is where you could, if you look at a heat map of Rez, it's just glowing like a forge. That whole area of the map, restrooms, and even a little bit towards the tree at long. But this is really where you can expect to see Rez the majority of the time on CT side. So MOUSESPORTS will curious to see how they adapt to that. Device and Hampus, though, rotating up to A site. They're going to be looking at trying to support Rez here in a moment. Rez is soon to be all by his lonesome. No fresh smoke going down either to help him out here, so he is definitely freaking out. Which way does he need to look? Turns out he picks the correct direction to kick things off. 4-on-4.
Device creeping on the outside, just about doesn't see Rops. How long does he hang out here for? If he goes back outside, he's at a disadvantage. I think he may have just heard a footstep, I'm not sure. Oh my
No
God,
way.
his timing is unbelievable. But he can't expect people to be at toilets, and maybe, I'm not sure what ZTR's position is, but he may go for free. Oh, has he seen the barrel of the gun there? He certainly has. Now, just a bit slow on the trigger finger there, trying to ensure a kill. ZTR is traded. Problems on the A-bomb side, lining up for Hampus, though, quickly turning things around, delivering the 3rd kill as well. And there's the round for NIP, and the AWP save from Long. That one went back and forth very quickly indeed.
What an outrageous round. That is so insane. And Hampus with the triple to hold it. So Rez, luckily for him, he was realizing he was in a 50-50. He needs to guess which side he needs to be watching, and it just so happened that it worked out. But for Hampus to get the triple kill there, he literally just saved his team. That should have been a MOUSESPORTS round with that kill on Device and ZTR. So, what a hero play from the NIP IGL, making it all happen. And now Device goes for his aggressive peek mid. Acor not going to be able to hit it either. And we're back into the standoff. Device taking Rez's spot. Rez playing down on B right now with the rest of this NIP defense.
Oh, just above the heads.
Dude, ZTR, this is going to be brutal, though. Smoke is going to clear. Smoke is going to clear. And that is impeccable. ZTR, 2 kills for him.
With a UMP. Oh, Acor, no fatal connection there. You can see the bomb is just to his right-hand side.
That is such a nasty setup. In case you're new, just tuning in, when the smoke clears and you're standing in it, you have a split second where you may see your opponent just a little bit faster than they see you. It's just the way that it works in the game. So you see players, you know, often they'll sit in smokes that are just clearing up to give them a little bit of an edge if somebody happened to be on the other side of it, right? So ZTR taking full advantage of that right there and absolutely destroying MOUSESPORTS.
Oh, there's the bomb spotted. Bemis at least surviving that engagement. But there's a lot more to do. 32 seconds. We'll see what MOUSESPORTS are just trying to protect themselves here. Ninjas in Pajamas don't have all the money in the world, so I don't imagine they'll hunt Hampus maybe moving forward just to keep an eye on A in case they do go for a bomb plant, but I think MOUSESPORTS will be holding formation for now.
Especially because he does not want to just be stuck on that bomb site. But with 9 seconds left, this is it. MOUSESPORTS are just going to hold on to the gear that they have. They don't have much money to fall back on right now. Their economy is essentially broken. They don't even have full loss bonus, having only lost 2 rounds in a row so far this half. But you can see it there. Just as that smoke clears, ZCR, when you're talking the reaction times of pros, even a split second is an enormous advantage. And so ZCR, he's just going to be able to get that kill for free and then move on from there. So brutal. But it's also why you catch pros really watching smokes closely until it's fully cleared and they can see there's nothing hiding in it, because it's just becoming more and more of a thing. Device again with the aggressive peek top mid. No fear from Device. This NIP team are looking very confident on overpass.
Yeah, they love themselves some OVP. Device. We boosted up, ready for A-Core to move past the rock. That timing was spot on. Back they go. 1 minute 15 on the clock. An open 2A case for MOUSESPORTS. Bemis looking for some toys, but not finding much of anything. And sound is cut. No short B presence from anyone. Oh man.
Okay.
Another one bites the dust.
Does he start taking over now? He's at 17 kills. Runner up on his team. Well, you got 3 guys at 13 kills on NIP. So really it's just Device and then the rest of the team. And this time he's going to get caught. BMAS catching him peeking, but there's Rez. You just took out the right hand, but now the left hand gets to take its shot. And Rez right there with the instant trade. So
20 seconds to plant this bomb. We have some counter utility from Ninjas in Pajamas. You have to wonder if MOUSESPORTS will opt to save again, because how could they possibly win this round from behind that smoke? Utterly brutal situation. Frozen maybe looking for damage. Hold on a second. 6 seconds. Rez is on the site, but the bomb is being pulled out. Actually going for this, and Rez will put him out of his misery. No bomb plant either. Ninjas in Pajamas move to 13. Some nice entries from, well, some nice opening kills, if you will, from Device. Wouldn't call them entry kills on the CT side. Sometimes it can be, though.
Dude, the mood on that team as well, man. They're all smiles, right? It's just looking like they're having the time of their lives playing this match right now in IP. Looking like they're just having a ball. That is actually just the best thing to see for NIP at this point. 3 rounds away from picking up the first map in this series in decisive fashion, and they're just looking like they're having a ball. MOUSESPORTS now, the pressure is really going to be on them to come up with the goods here. A couple of deagles picked up this round, a smoke on BMAS. They are no closer to getting onto a bomb site. Dexter and BMAS just now starting to clear out connector. A-Core and Frozen over in playground, so it's making you think they're going to rotate back over here towards mid. Resin Device, though, not playing too forward this time around, playing from the bomb sites. They know that this is an eco round.
This jump peak will be looked for, though.
This is Device's favorite spot on the map. This is where he does a lot of his work.
Will there be some wall bangs? Oh, there we go. Beamer's saying hello. Got to be careful now. Well, Robs has found a kill onto Hampus. I'm not sure if he was jump peeking towards B or what, but Rez now with the pre-fire on a second attempt, and he has possession of long. 35 seconds Device at the Benq position. You can stop across towards the truck from Benq. Oh, this Bex is surely going to see him first now. The shadow, a slight warning for Device there, but he wasn't ready for it, and that changes everything. Rez being flanked, entertained by Beamers, but Rops is here from the back, and this could be a very unlikely round for MOUSESPORTS. And very expensive for Ninjas in Pajamas. They can't actually afford to lose in this fashion. Even now, they're all kind of screwed, and it looks like it's going to get worse for them.
Oh, he shoots his teammate's body.
1 versus 2 now, ZTR. They're both heavily tagged. Can he find Rockstone? He's got the angle for him. Surely he's got it. Now that is a clutch. That's one way to bring things back for your team. 10 HP, gets his bell rung as well. They barely survive, but they survive.
Dude, ZTR, these are some big rounds from him. He's had a quiet map so far, but he's had a couple of monster rounds, one of them a quad kill round, and that clutch. Well played by ZTR, the young gun here for NIP. Doing good work, and he has a real understanding. I mean, this has definitely been one of the stronger maps for NIP since ZTR joined the roster. It was his strongest map, and you can see when they're on this map, NIP, they just feel very comfortable. Feel like they've got it figured out. Rez this time. Okay.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Acor knows his angles. He knows his crouch peaks as well, as we saw earlier.
This is where I want Device to be like the big brother who's going to come over here and beat Acor up. And what are you bullying, my little brother?
NIP wrestling control back from MOUSESPORTS. Hold on a second, though. This one's not over just yet. 3 versus 3. Hampus with some lineups. It's got Plopsky here for help as well. Money low for both squads. Very key round, especially for MOUSESPORTS trying to come back. Beamer's quietly dropping into the water. Spots some Hampus. Somehow he gets that kill, and Plopsky can't trade. A rare miss from Plopsky. Normally good for the trade frag here, and that leaves Device in a 1 versus 2, coming from far away. He's picked himself up an M4, up against Acor and Rops, trying to close as much distance as he can before Acor gets into position. You can see him now.
What?
Wow. That man is ready.
What a shot. Jump peek into an instant headshot. That is a thing of beauty, Acor. Okay, then.
Just another
Stylish.
day, no smile or nothing, emotionless.
Stylish.
He's a contract killer.
Let's see. I hope we have it from his perspective here in the end, that last duel. That would have been sick.
It's quite a turnaround from MOUSESPORTS.
That's sick.
Beautiful. Just bouncing into it. No Fs given whatsoever. And look what it's done to the economy of Ninjas in Pajamas. This has really opened the door for a comeback from MOUSESPORTS, an MP9 and a M4A4. The main weapons here. Acor looking for it already. Device is warned away. Even with the M4, sniper versus sniper, there's an expectation and he looks for it. Deserves a kill there.
You see those smokes go down, you just know there's some shenanigans afoot. You'd have to throw that smoke every round just to make it unpredictable, make it difficult to read. BMS chasing Hampus back. Hampus, right now, MOUSESPORTS are worried about some kind of weird bait and switch setup. Hampus is just getting kills that he just has no right to get, no right getting. It's actually getting a little egregious. So 4-on-4, Rez and Device are posted up in mid. Just not in position to help out their IGL.
CZ is active again. Don't see it as often as you used to at the moment. 40 seconds remain now in this 3 versus 3. Device with the rifle could be crucial. Baited by the reload of the AK, it seems. Acor had the angle. And down goes ZTR as well. Man, Acor really looks like he spent 3 hours doing deathmatch. 19 kills for Acor, 17 for Device. 15 for Plopsky, who has a task ahead of him if he is to pursue around here. But I don't think so.
He's not going to win it, but if he can get a kill out of this, that'd be nice. Thing is that, and unfortunately, none of the guns died in a place that he can recover them. Unless he were to somehow get out here to connector, but Dexter's already 1 step ahead of him. So if he were to run there now, Dexter is just camping. So I don't think that that is going to be what happens here. Plopsky.
That skin is so weird with all the eyes. I don't like it.
You don't like it?
It makes me uncomfortable.
Let's see. Oh, and there's the bait. No, well, Plopsky dies, guys. Plopsky dies.
Great presence of mind from Dexter to squeeze every last edge out of that round.
Yeah, that was really good by Dexter, just using the bait. Like, all right, you think you're going to be able to pick up a gun over here?
They're only 4 rounds behind now, MOUSESPORTS. And Ninjas in Pajamas are in eco territory. So, there's the potential for a steal here. NIP buy at 11, they buy at 13, and then suddenly the score is tied. That's the way that MOUSESPORTS have to look at this. Well, that's a nice choke point for Rops to find himself 4 kills.
A little bit of a clinic there on spray control. This is how it's done.
Yeah, the clinic of an unlicensed doctor.
Just gutted them.
Hampus now doesn't want Rops getting that that ace. And move well away from the B-bomb site with the USP. I feel like he's just hiding to avoid the ace here.
I think so. I would approve of this behavior. Just run away to the other side of the map and intentionally die to somebody else. That's what you need to do here. Going actively towards Rops, however, I think is a mistake.
That's pretty cool that the stat track is on the bottom of that karambit. I don't think I ever had a stat track karambit.
It's hidden. Doesn't ruin it like other knives.
Yeah. I think it'd be ruinous on that one. I don't mind it on like the... I had a Ruby bayonet with it on. I liked it.
Okay.
But anyway. Well then, here is that 11, which means it's time for Ninjas in Pajamas to buy. If it gets to 13, they'll be at full loss bonus, which means a bigger buy. You can see some grenades are missing from this one.
I wonder if MOUSESPORTS decide to go long this time, long fast. And get out there nice and early. And again, try and like pressure res. That would be nice to see, just that split on A. And we're getting that same smoke thrown down here from Rez. And so again, Rez going to make Acore nervous here, making them think that perhaps there might be some boost or some weird stuff going on. So this will slow it down a little bit. But Rez deciding, okay, that's a good time to back off. B-Mouse and Dexter not going to be able to just follow up on him immediately. And Device is now rotated back up to the A side. So NIP right now just really trying to get in position to hard counter a B rush early. And once the B rush doesn't come through, because they have Rez as an early warning system, they can just rotate Device back up to A little bit later and play off of that. MOUSESPORTS though, what's the play here? We've got the death ball. All 5 alive, moving up Banana towards A. Life is going to get real interesting for Device in a moment.
They have to know, MOUSESPORTS, that one of them is going to walk into an AWP at some point. No challenge from the toilets just yet. Again, Device just waiting for that confirmation kill. Bemis moving towards the site. Help is here from Rez, looking to swing now onto Frozen. Down he goes as well. Like dominoes. Rops is the only one left, but he will fall very quickly afterwards. Into the hands of Rez he goes. 3 kills for him. Rescues the AWP, which keeps an AK out of his hands. And NIP moves to game point.
Decisive rounds like that are what's going to get the job done. Device, the trigger discipline on Device as well. You know, he has 2 shots that he could have taken before that third one. Doesn't take them, waits for the guaranteed kill, doesn't give up the surprise. And that means that Rez can just nuke him as well. So just brutal setup there for NIP.
Yeah, and those two walk into a trap essentially with Rez to help behind Device and a player on the site. They have some kind of trade frag or crossfire situation. So it works on a few different layers. But what doesn't work is the pop flash play towards the short B position, dealt with by Dexter, an early 5 versus 4. And perhaps a focus towards the B bomb site for MOUSESPORTS. Rez seems to be headed there as well in case of a faster play, but the bomb's not even collected yet. So things may slow down after that initial engagement.
Try and force Nip to spread back out again to cover more ground. Device, however, gives up the angle. Oh, he's thinking about it. Oh, there's the spot. Frozen will have seen Device full on. Even if we just barely saw a sliver of Frozen, from Frozen's perspective, he would have seen Device clearly. So now Device going to be held onto this point. Rez as well, locked in up here on the A site to back his Opera up. Hampus even thinking about rotating back. He's over in Graffiti. But this is going to be a B hit, and ZTR, I mean, peeking for info now. Nice flash, getting a bit of info. Still spotting him in sewers might be enough to go off of here. Yep, Device starting to rotate down. Rez has pushed restroom. This is it. Nip realizing what's going on.
And here comes the push into that B bomb site. MOUSESPORTS getting the lion's share of it. And they're putting NIP into poverty status. Again, Device has to hold on to this AWP, not just this round, but the next one as well.
Ooh, how's he going to manage that? Frozen is already rotating up to A site. Acor, I mean, it's a little bit harder to hunt with the AWP.
Oh, Scope's gone too deep.
Ooh. You're not
So
going to
patient.
jiggle. You're going to jiggle Device. Get out of here.
Doesn't go for the 1 pixel kill. Goes for the 15. Might try and skirt towards the site as close as he can without dying. Makes sense. And then run directly to the site. Exactly. Marvelous stuff.
Well played. Very well played. So, Device threads that needle, stays alive with the AWP. His teammates, however, looking like another round of eco coming up here for them, as you pointed out. And so this was the setup. The flash was just not expected. I thought that Dexter played anti-flash, but he was just in a very clever angle to stop the flash from hitting. So that worked wonderfully. And Nip punished for the aggression in that last round. Now we're going to get a Deagle. And Device with this AWP. MOUSESPORTS with some early aggression towards B by the looks of things. Fully expecting Device to stay on A with the AWP. They're going to head over here towards this bomb site. ZTR, yep, has to be careful. Nice little HE on top of him.
Oh, he's in trouble. Well, this may be a brief round. I can't imagine Device goes for anything here. Would be kind of crazy. But how does he hide? You can see Frozen's checking long on the radar.
Yep.
Where Device is. I'm not sure if he saw anything there. But he has to rotate the bomb, actually. Or someone does. Well, now it's only Device. If they know where he is with a minute on the clock, they may look to eliminate. So we'll see.
I mean, Plopsky will have enough money to drop Device and AWP in the next round. That's crazy.
In before he clutches the round.
Bomb only just getting planted. Devices like this is a lifetime. And well, there it is. I hear the shouts from the green room right now, or from the blind spot, the analyst loving it.
Well, he still has money for the AWP, so it comes out immediately for Device. And indeed, this is their last full buy in normal time. MOUSESPORTS have a big opportunity ahead of them, at least to take it to overtime. And Rox will be looking for a 30 bomb in regulation as well.
Loving to see just how competitive it is. But MOUSESPORTS, yeah, on their way to reproducing the same scoreline that NIP had on their T side, 10-5 at the end of the first half. Well, right now, I mean, this is a fantastic job coming in here from Mouse. We still have some nades on Nip's side. Minute 30, flash into sewers, another flash over. Rez gonna peek, and he gets 1 kill. Nicely done.
They line up so they're not so exposed to the wooden panel as you normally would be. So the response is limited. Well then, MOUSESPORTS 4 versus 5. What is the play? You can see Rops taking the bomb beyond the fountain position. Frozen and Acorn moving up. And Device is somewhere around here. He's by the toilets as per usual. Now, was he spotted? I think he may have been. Goes back to the well, and he will be deleted for doing so. Rez on the site now. We'll wait to see what he can find.
Hampus is rotating up to Benq, so Rez isn't alone at least. And Plopsky's already starting to cheat his way back over here towards CT as well. ZTR has been left alone on the B site, but he's going to have to start rotating quickly now as the nades come through. MOUSESPORTS committing to this A bomb site, and there it is. Hampus once again. 1-for-1 trade. Good enough.
Time pressure is starting to increase for MOUSESPORTS. 2 versus 2, and maybe there's a chance for them to plant the bomb. Plopsky's got an incendiary, but it won't land in time. And maybe that can be used to defuse the bomb later on. MOUSESPORTS fall back, but this may be a mistake. Plopsky's got a smoke grenade. He'll put it on the bomb itself, actually. We've got Bemis now to find an angle in that smoke with the AWP. They can't hear if the bomb's being defused either, so things are getting very hairy indeed. And there it is, over the smoke. Maybe it was always the plan. There'll be a defuse from Ninjas in Pajamas. 16-13 on overpass.
Nip delivering MOUSESPORTS their first loss on a map of the tournament. It had been a pure run from MOUSESPORTS, 8 maps in a row for MOUSESPORTS, a beautiful run, but it comes to an end here in the grand finals. Now can they bounce back in the second map, Bardolph?
Indeed, that'll be Nuke, and that'll come after the break, but not before some thoughts on Overpass from our panel. So we're going to have problems here for G2. Eco with the tap. What the hell is hacking, surely?
Here it is.
No way! 18 seconds now. He's going for a more open plant. That was a mistake. Oh my God, Garrigan!
G2 do decide, but no! Cadian with 2 knives, actually.
Things get more difficult. 20 seconds. The tap from Rez. Nated by Robson. The dream is collapsing for Fnatic. They had so many plays alive.
No way.
Stereo frags from Mousepad.
I think I would wingman with Rain. He's like, he's a good teammate, you know. Even though he benched me back in the days, I was still wingman with him. I think maybe this time he got my back, not like last time, but yeah.
Robs, because I wouldn't have to play it, you know. He's not playing anymore, but I will go for Smith. My bromance.
It would be Robs, because I like how Robs plays, and he would carry me in my first wingman game. I never played wingman in the, in CS. I played wingmans in 2v2 event, and we won it with Kyler, actually, in Poland. But I never played wingman in normal mode, it's matchmaking.
Aoros. Yeah. I just give him his space, he will just contact everyone, just one-shot people, I will just drink my milkshake and watch.
Probably Forest, because he's a Swedish legend and I've never played with him. He's also from the same area in Sweden that I am.
Yeah, probably Saivu. He can do it all. He can support, he can clutch, he can go in first and get the entry so I can shine. Or I just go in for him, doesn't matter.
A solid showing from NIP in a close affair of Overpass. They take their pick, looking pretty solid in those final moments, but it wasn't without Mouse trying to push them to the limit. Launders, we almost thought it was going to be going to OT, but NIP do close it out in the end.
Mouse got super unlucky. They were a better team today. And no, I'm just kidding. This was really, it was a really great match by NIP. Super strong. That first half, in particular, the way that they were walk peeking a lot of the setups, clearly knew exactly where MOUSESPORTS would be standing, didn't use too much utility, and oftentimes when they get the first kill, they get the second one as well with no refrag. So although they started down 0-4, it was such a nice comeback in the first half.
I mean, for me, I think the biggest difference maker in this first map has to be Device. I mean, just basically controlling bathrooms in front of Faceit with impunity. NIP, I mean, just getting bailed out so much by the pressure he applies to the T sides of MOUSESPORTS, where Frozen, a lot of these players that are usually the sole proprietors of the bathrooms area, having to work it on their T sides, getting shut down, frequently found out with some big picks from Device.
And that was kind of a question coming into this as well. We were looking at Aoros and Device and kind of comparing them to as AWPers, and it's been a weird trajectory. We've seen Device on the upward trajectory, Aoros kind of dipping a little bit coming into the later stages of the tournament. How did you compare them, Maui, throughout this map?
I think that Device was more consistent throughout the entire game, but Aoros had a really hot start, and the reason that Mouse had that 4-0 start was actually partially due to him. And he kind of went quiet, actually. He started with 12 kills pretty early on in this game, and he was sitting on 12 kills for maybe 6 rounds after he got that. So he kind of lost his way, but I wouldn't say that he was outplayed as consistently as we may have thought. And he definitely wasn't choking in these kind of moments. He wasn't whiffing, per se.
Yeah, I think, just to comment a little bit more, I think his aim looked really good today, but I think positionally he did make a couple of mistakes that showed. I think there were moments of timing, both Aoros, there were a couple of moments where it felt like he put himself in a bad spot. and that's why it went quiet a bit afterwards.
And going back to that first half as well, we saw obviously Mouse coming off with a pistol, the subsequent 3 rounds after that as well. So where did you see kind of NIP making that streak of rounds on that T side? What was the kind of real difference maker for you to give them that advantage?
I mean, we just talked about Acor a little bit, but I really think that there was a moment in time when the formula for MOUSESPORTS at A was kind of getting cracked by NIP, and just the encroachment onto the A site, applying a lot of pressure. You know, there were some tight rounds there towards the end of the first half where, you know, MOUSESPORTS just couldn't get a handle on things on the A hits, and the executes were pretty potent from NIP once they had gotten those openers.
Yeah. Or MOUSESPORTS, I mean, NIP found a lot of timings towards long, especially. I think they knew that when scouting this out, that Acor was sometimes going to be towards long, but mostly Frozen was working towards bathroom and con. So that kind of area of the map for NIP was a lot, like they gave a lot there. It was either Acor losing a fight versus Device there, or pretty much just the entire space was given up.
Like the MOUSESPORTS T side was much more compelling. Some of the rotations looked really good in that last round. Some amazing flashes and timings, and they avoided the scope of Device so many times. It felt like they were being very, very careful. So there was a lot of redeeming qualities in that second half, but by that point it was just such a strong first half from NIP. There weren't enough chances to win.
Yeah, we've got to delve into one of those rounds in particular. We're going to be beginning off with round 6, which is kind of where we saw NIP getting that momentum to get a lot of rounds in a row.
This was they actually double nose flashed here for BMAS, and he was staring into it. And the meta right now is to keep checking that because people are throwing these shallow flashes into the monster tunnels and then coming out. And they try to stop the defense here, but like you see the rotations are scrambling through spawn really late at this point, and it's already around 1 for NIP. But this is one of a few times, and this marked the start of a comeback for NIP where they really started to figure out exactly how these setups were going. And it was so often that their opening tactic, and this was a tactic that turned into an overarching strategy, which was just hit B, you know, really hard. But their opening tactic often got both kills on setups, whether it was on A or B. And I think that was the important part. Rotations almost didn't even matter for most of this half for MOUSESPORTS because they were just winning so easily from those first kills.
Yeah, we see MOUSESPORTS in this round actually get their money broken, Launders, and so you know, you think about the outcome of this half and how dominant, you know, it ended up being for NIP. Things could have been way different if that wall bang from Acor had actually landed, hit its mark the first time around. You know, maybe you're able to stop the bomb plan and, you know, your team starts another streak.
And we have got round 15 as well to be highlighting. Lexa, you picked up on this particular one as a strong T-side example, another one again from NIP.
Yeah, and this really just starts with shutting down the connector control. Frozen and Acor both fall, and that is the primary, you know, point of defense here for MOUSESPORTS on the A side of the map. And, you know, obviously the rotations are flying in, you know, a little late to the party. It's just Dexter here on site. I think it's getting a close opportunity there. Maybe you can hold it, but I mean, NIP just dominating here in this last one.
Mouse didn't really throw too many just super aggressive plays at NIP or really kind of have any tricks up their sleeve. I noticed when I was looking back at a lot of their games that they're running pretty much the same defaults over and over and over again, and their players are just of such a high quality that they can make so many different situations work. But today was one where NIP clearly had a plan for attacking A and taking out Acor and Frozen consistently enough to actually just take that space away from them. So they kind of knew what they were getting themselves into.
Yeah, we started the segment by talking about Acor's form. I think at the beginning of that, it didn't show it in the clip, but he actually whiffed an easy kill in connector. You know, opponent was out in the open, just didn't hit the shot, had to fall back. And once the pressure commences, you know, if you're not able to hold, if you're not able to get any kills, no rotations were close. I mean, that's just tough ask for MOUSESPORTS to try and win that last one. Rops almost pulled it out, but didn't quite make it. And
I think something that we were kind of praising MOUSESPORTS for coming into this was that free-flowing style. We were speaking to Dexter about it in the post-game interview as well, kind of talking about how he's able to pull that off as well as an in-game leader. Do you feel like it was an issue for MOUSESPORTS at all, that they weren't really able to get that off the ground?
Well, okay, so the way I would characterize it is that on the T side, you did see that style, and the mid-rounding was fantastic, actually. I almost never saw Dexter make a bad call. In fact, I saw him make a call that I could barely see myself with X-Ray on, and I was very impressed with like how they were picking sites when they swoop for long control, and it felt like everyone did a good job of spreading the map but also staying very organized. But on CT side, I think it just came down to individuals not covering each other well enough, and also just credit to NIP for figuring out the exploits and the timings they were looking for, like when they would walk upstairs or when they would turn the corner on balloons or something like that. Some of that stuff makes it look lucky, but you know, from NIP, they were looking for those timings as well and found those players. So I actually do chalk this one up to the individuals on the CT side, specifically around A, that just got outplayed in a microcosm for the round.
And speaking of one of those individuals on the side of NIP, we have to go back to round 22. We thought this was potentially going to be the closing point for NIP. Sure, Mouse managed to put a few more rounds up on the board, but ZTR was looking incredibly hot here.
Yeah, this one starts with a really nice wallbang from Dexter there, just knows the angle perfectly, able to find device, and they isolate the kill onto Rez on top of that. 2v4 situation, Mouse could evacuate the bomb site right now, but it's actually planted for Benq, so they're all kind of hanging out close, and this really gives NIP a chance in a round that they really had no business in. So Plopsky goes 1-for-1 right here, and this part was just phenomenal from ZTR. Gets the first, and then just great visualization on where the next kills are. Even just kind of throws out the jiggle onto Rops. Almost kind of an accident there in that jiggle, but it was still tight enough that he was able to capitalize.
Yeah, you think about the potential of NIP getting reset in that round, not having money to buy into the next. And you're giving away several different rifles. I think there was 4 players alive right there at the end. Do you save? Do you try and go for it? And it's so funny. We had you cast through the ZTR segment because you and I back and forth are just like, here's the 1v2. It's coming at some point. ZTR's having this, and he finally delivered.
No, and it's a good point as well, because that could have been a completely different turning point, looking at ZTR not doing that, considering that Mouse did get some subsequent rounds after that.
ZTR and Xypix are 2 different players, but but in some ways, like, you can kind of see some similarities where obviously ZTR is a lot more inexperienced, but you're starting to get this confidence when you watch him in the 1-on-2 situations. Even if, like, in that moment he was bottom fragging on the match, it still feels like he's going to play the situation really well, and he might have a chance. And it's not like his aim is so much better than his teammates or anything like that, but he's super good on the probabilities of each fight and just like how to be careful enough that you do give him odds in these 1-on-2 situations.
Yeah, he even said in the interview we had with him on the blind spot that when he's in kind of the 5v5, he's thinking about the macro elements. He was the in-game leader briefly for NIP. He was actually the in-game leader for Young Ninjas before this. But when he's in those clutch situations, that's when he really turns it up a notch.
Well, I don't think there's enough of us up here on the desk. I think we need a full 5-man stack. Anders is going to be our 5th coming in here. First of all, man, what did you make of that first map of this grand final?
Well, I think that was a very, very important win for the NIP side. I think they're definitely still in a lot of danger in this particular matchup. So I think winning the first one on Overpass was absolutely critical. Happy to be 5th as well. I don't know how good of a job I'll be doing. But
Yeah,
I can try
what role does Anders take on, like in this squad?
He's a lurker. He's a ZTR. He's the
hard
clutch.
carry, guys. What are you talking about?
Right.
I'll be honest. Currently I have my own problems to deal with, so I won't be helping you guys today. I have a choice. Either I can keep the window open and mosquitoes come in, or I can close it and I die of a heat stroke. So it's
yeah,
rough.
keep it closed, man. Keep it closed.
These are horrible.
Keep it
horrible
closed.
choices.
No bugs coming in here. Next map, Anders, going to be Nuke. Do you see Mouse having a chance to bounce back?
Yeah, I think a very good chance as well. And actually, I think if I'm an IP, I might even halfway be thinking. I'm sure they're not thinking like this, but they kind of almost do need to win it in 2. I think Inferno is going to be pretty rough, I think, against MouseSports. So I would say, yeah, if you're an IP, you're looking to try and win this quickly and not get onto Inferno at all. But I mean, I think Mouse could do it. I think it will be 3 maps, and I think that might not be the best possible news for NIP, to be honest.
Very quickly, Anders, you want to see Launders get dunked, right? You're rooting for NIP in this next map?
Well, you said earlier, Freya, that he had brought his bathing suit, and I just don't know what that means. That honestly left me incredibly curious.
I will be completely naked.
Oh, God.
Okay, well, I can.
I think that's enough.
Donations are rolling in.
Yeah, well, let's cut this. Anders, we'll let you get back to watching the game and not imagine Launders jumping into the tank naked. But hopefully we'll get to check in with you after this next map. Thanks so much for that one, Launders. Maybe some thoughts of Nuke to completely switch our thoughts on this one. Do you see Mouse making the bounce back here?
I think the biggest issue for me is that Frozen had a really tough time kind of defending A. He was getting bested a lot by NIP, and we saw how cerebral he is as a player towards outside when they're on the defense, and he just needs to do better. I think simply that if he's able to lock that position down or just give his team the right information safely, that could be a huge win condition for Mouse.
Yeah, and I can draw parallels right now to that Overpass game, just seeing Device and Frozen having those kind of like shadow matchups. Just, are they going to peak at the right timing? This is going to be outside this entire time. Is Frozen outside, T side of Nuke, trying to not get shot in the face by Device? It's going to be difficult, I believe.
Sometimes we talk about Simple because he's so good, because despite what his team is doing, he can like get all of the kills, like even if he's lacking support, even if he's in the right spot no one else is. And actually I would go for a counterpoint and say that that's kind of what happened with Frozen the last time we watched him. He was outside alone very often, and I actually was worried that he wasn't getting enough support, but he was doing such a fantastic job, he was getting the kills anyway. To me, that actually looks a little unsustainable, and I felt like he was very much alone, almost never played two-man setups outside, and a lot of the times he got his kills lurking on the outside smokes and stuff like that. I don't think he's going to be able to get away with that again, unless MOUSESPORTS give him some more support in that position. But he himself was the best. That was like the best outside nuke performance, at least this tournament that we've seen, I think.
So before we jump into this, who do you think is going to be the difference maker for Mouse if we're seeing this push to a
Yeah,
third?
I'd go with Frozen for sure. I think he's the best player on their team on nuke.
Any other takers? Any other players you're looking out for on Mouse?
Last time we saw Mouse on Nuke, man, the only reason they were having a string of T-side rounds at all was Frozen's performance. I think Launders is right. I'm looking at him.
I think on the T side, you can actually point to Rops because he is being a lot more aggressive towards ramp, especially just trying to look for solo fights here and there. If he's able to open the map up against NIP, that's just going to be such a strategic luxury in that Dexter can just simply mid-round. If they get that pick, everything's open for them.
Dexter will look like a genius.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we'll see if he can be the big brain of the squad as we head into our second map of this series. It's going to be Nuke and questions to see if Mouse can be pushing this all the way to a third and keep their tournament life for the trophy here at FlashPoint 3. So let's hand it over to Semler and James.
Sames.
Thank you very much. I don't want to see Launders naked, do you?
No, it's all right.
No.
I can do without that. I mean, to be fair, I think he's covered on that front. I don't even think he can go without a shirt on Twitch, so I don't know how that's going to work, you know what I mean?
Maybe we'll just get banned.
Terrico's just going to call. Just be like, dude, what? Twitch, double standards, come on.
But why, though? Well,
somebody's going to get dunked.
Somebody is, and it ain't going to be me. Rops and Dexter will have grenades, and Rops will have himself a P250. They'll be the aggressors in this pistol round on Nuke. Time for MOUSESPORTS to enact some revenge on Ninjas in Pajamas, and Frozen will start as he means to go. One with a headshot up close. Dexter going through the smoke in main, and this is a fast-moving round. Only 2 players remaining for Ninjas in Pajamas. ZTR has the defuse kit, looking over the smoke, trying to find anything he can. Plopsky's here as well. Well, there goes ZTR. Plopsky now 1 versus 5, and he will also die, essentially. It's a pretty solid round for MOUSESPORTS.
Pretty solid. Yeah, that was great. Just a brave round as well to call straight up A rush, upper rush, right out the gates. They didn't stop holding W the entire way through, just ran right over it. And NIP a bit more spread out on the map, not quite sure. Probably expecting more of a slow approach from MOUSESPORTS, to be fair. Just caught off guard with that speed. So very well done there from MOUSESPORTS. 1-0 lead. Again, pistols, man. MOUSESPORTS are good at winning these pistol rounds. We saw that on Overpass, and here we go. Another strong start for them on Nuke. So coming out into the yard, you get to take advantage of the rifles. You are facing against Deagles, though. So it's not without its risks. But you are really trying to set yourself up to have the advantage over the pistols long range. At least initially. See, there's the Deagle. Just letting you know. And also letting MOUSESPORTS know that Nip could look over that smoke and not see anybody.
Fishing with the Deagles, it'll be made more difficult with the Molotov. But MOUSESPORTS are not too crazy about committing. There's a swing from Acor.
Yeah.
Hampus up top now, looking for something. Plenty of people outside. You don't want to engage all those players. They will combine to make you lose a rifle. You can see MOUSESPORTS not fighting to the death if they don't need to. They'll do it on their terms. And Ninjas in Pajamas will look to have another go in the next round, try and stay with these 3 pistols. Oh, Device now with the blue flip knife. What? That is quite a change up from when we last saw him. Did he have these gloves last time? I swear his infantry changes every day.
He's active, you know? He's probably got an inventory that runs pretty deep.
I need to have a second look at it. I looked at it the other day.
That's
all kind of rubies and emeralds in there.
This could be quite the interesting strategy to start things off here for MOUSESPORTS, actually, to just repeatedly hit that upper sight. It is, I mean, you do try to identify where certain players are playing on the map, and then you can play around that, right? And ZCR on upper sight has kind of struggled a little bit. It's not the strongest map. Past two times that NIP have played this map, against Anonymous and against Heroic, they've lost. And ZCR has been kind of middle of the pack, if not at the bottom of the scoreboard, both of those times. So clearly still trying to make some adjustments on that upper side, getting him comfortable. So just literally running straight at him 2 rounds in a row has worked out really well for MOUSESPORTS. Not a great start here for ZCR. Hasn't really had the chance to show anything. But that being said, nobody has had a kill yet for NiP. So let's see if in the third round they can finally kill somebody.
Frozen saying hello. ZTR surely falls to the flames there. Well, perhaps it was worth it. Not much to lose in this round. There's a rifle to maybe be collected, used, or abused by those vents. Frozen just having a look. Nice taps with the Galil. Swinging left and right every so often. Now, Hampus looking to be served a quick one. Oh, Rob's just making... Okay, that makes it winnable. Immediately, he has to go for this round now. That's such a fast kill. Because Robs is reading, okay, he's going to save the weapon, and Hampus is playing against that. He's expecting somebody to swing. And now he has a chance to clutch the entire round. This has escalated very quickly indeed, but he'll need it to escalate even faster in order to win this one. Spotting Dexter in the heart. He needs a kill here. You can make him die, though. Or maybe he goes for the rifle instead, because he's got nothing to... Oh, actually, he has armor to save, but I think he'll go for the rifle. Well, that's some great damage done by Hampus. UMP for Robs, but over here, the Galil can take that instead of an M4, no problem.
Absolutely. So again, we're going to do the same thing, you know, here provide a little bit of context going into this big buy round. MOUSESPORTS haven't lost nuke since the closed qualifier. So that's been a long time now. That was against Complexity, 16-13. Since then, they've gone on to beat the likes of Big, Astralis, G2. They got revenge against Complexity. I mean, they've just been mauling everybody on nuke. So this is very much a MOUSESPORTS home map. They're scary, they're strong on it, and so NiP have got their work cut out for them here on this CT side. So let's see what NiP have elected to go for here. Have the AWP in position on device, although he still seems to be trying to get comfortable with NiP's strategy, with NiP's setup here on this map.
Oh, Rez looking for opportunity. The repeat would be problematic, though.
Sorry?
The repeat would be problematic there around those smokes. As you can see, Bemis and Co creeping. Looking for Hampus, who isn't showing just yet. Does he play off of Rez's peak? No, here he is activating now. Oh, taking a lot of damage, getting riddled with bullets through the panel. Not very bulletproof, that. Perhaps not what he was expecting. He'll think twice about going there again. Dexter makes his way downstairs with the bomb. Rob's looking for rotation. Can hear the jump peeking from ZT. I'll let invite him in for a peek himself. Ooh, had to land something there, Device. He'll fall back. Rob still keeping an eye on things. Surely there'll be a swing here. There's enough of them. Going with utility first. That'll give him half a chance, but he can't fire that second shot. Rob's deleted by Rez. And that gives NIP a man advantage, despite having lost Device. Plopsky now creeping. Aoros seen by the double doors. They pretty much know where these players are now. They've got help from the vent as well. Trades will be in favor of MOUSESPORTS. 1v1. Rez has to touch that bomb. Dexter knows it. Opens the door and shuts down the round. 4-0 for MOUSESPORTS on the T side of Nuke.
Very, very well played. Dexter keeping his cool there, and also good teamwork between the two of them, really setting themselves up to trade the kills there at the end for that clutch. MOUSESPORTS, very nicely done. And so that was a strong start we saw here from NIP. Hampus, though, yeah, just stuck. That is a spot that Hampus likes to play out in that yard. He will play garage quite often, and he will try and lurk around those edges. And so MOUSESPORTS need to be aware of that. Clearly, you know, that was a reminder, at least early enough here in the half. But yeah, 4-0. And we will get the smoke wall going up outside. 3 players, soon to be 4 players here from MOUSESPORTS taking advantage of that, and they will get that bomb down secret very early on. This was a force buy coming in from NIP, though. And Device had enough money for an AWP once again. This time around, yep, it's the lobby peek coming in from Device. No presence in yard shown by Device just yet. So MOUSESPORTS still going to be waiting for him to join the party out there.
Oh boy, how do you peek that? Well, the first time we've seen a number of players in this position. There's some quite some activity towards B. So a little race there from MOUSESPORTS, but not going too crazy. You can see Rops' turn to play anti-eco position. ZTR caught sleeping as he crept through. Maybe there was a footstep. You can see MOUSESPORTS now considering the A bomb site. Plopsky doesn't want to fight to death with a FAMAS from that range, but he has got the information for his team, and Device will post up and deliver frag after frag. Oh. Still alive is Device. 4 versus 2. There's plenty of fire coming his way. Just one step to give it up, and there's the 4th kill for Device now. Rob still by Squeaky. Again, he was playing anti-eco this whole time in terms of his position while his teammates focused on Secret outside. Went for a plan B towards A, and things collapse. He'll make his way out of this round, going up the ladder.
Just doing a good job of surviving the round. He only had 400 in the bank, you can see, so he'll be able to get a smoke or 2 flashes next round, or an HE. Romps and the rest of the team should be able to buy up as well. Frozen and BMAX, though, are kind of low, but they can get drop Galils, and you can actually have a pretty respectable buy here from MOUSESPORTS. But this is the kind of star-level play that Device needs to bring to the table here for NIP. And you'd be happy to see that kind of play from him consistently here on Nuke as well. Just last time they played, he had a bit of a quiet performance, Device, and so it's going to be fun to see if they've made some progress here on this map. NIP were very outspoken when we got to talk to them at the blind spot about how they were very happy about having that one day off, that additional day to prepare for this grand final, get a bit more work in on some of these maps that they could almost predict that they were going to play. Nice leg shot coming through. Hampus again with that AWP, he is a threat.
Device with the second one. Look at the angle he's holding. Oh, he has actually got a chance for a second kill here, a tag, and a molly bouncing as well, and ZTR will be to the rescue, and the bomb is lost in garage as well. Got some serious problems here. What a position from Device. Continues to be a problem. 4 versus 2. How on earth do you even rescue that bomb? Really got to just aim for the people protecting it. Plenty of presence being shown by Device. Plopsky creeping as well by Credit Card. They will try to isolate these players, but at the same time, he smokes himself off the bomb. And Device has crept through it with the AK-47. 35 seconds on the clock, and what is there for MOUSESPORTS to do at this junction? May have to go for a save. Oh, found something at last. But this round is not going to be going the way of MOUSESPORTS, that much is for sure. I'm not sure where the AWP is for somebody to rescue it for Ninjas in Pajamas. There we go.
Wild. Back-to-back rounds running out of time for MOUSESPORTS? That doesn't bode well. If this is how it's going to play out already here at the very beginning of the half, I mean, what a shutdown and what a save from ZTR, to be fair. Device was dead to rights if ZTR doesn't show up there. So the cavalry came galloping over the hillside, and that was excellent work. But now you put yourself in a tight position here, MOUSESPORTS. You have 2 rifles to play off of, a couple of pistols. You've gone for the force buy across the board pretty much. A little bit of money saved. It's just a weird kind of round for MOUSESPORTS. Cross your fingers and hope that you can get a bomb plant. Acor's going to take point. And he eats that HE. And, oh, he's just getting planked down by Plopsky.
There's panels in that trophy area you can spray through as well. So one must be careful, even in a lobby.
Oh, risky business.
Just saw Bemis. Just picks up the AK-47. Things slowing down now for MOUSESPORTS. Being starved of opportunity on Nuke. It's a chance for Ninjas in Pajamas to build a nice score on their CT side. Of course, that will become more difficult when the full buy comes through for MOUSESPORTS, but for now, they won't have all the money in the world next round either.
Fresh smoke going down as well, so annoying. Minute on the clock, stuck. Really just trying to make this A-pop kind of play work here. But Rez is just determined to not allow this to happen. Although Frozen is in a great position to catch Rez, ZTR is watching Hut. Nobody has got main right now. So Frozen's going to catch Rez in the side of the head unless this timing works out. There it is.
Instant trade, but ZTR has a strong angle and a lot of players helping him as well. Bemis looking for a flank, which is not going to come. And he may opt to hold on to this AK-47. They could have a hero AK in the next round. Another slink away from MOUSESPORTS. Opportunities have been lost. Comrades have been lost. And the round has been lost.
No way, dude. How often do we see this? 3 rounds in a row. Lost due to time.
Gotta respect it.
Okay, we're going to get a quick technical timeout called here by MOUSESPORTS. Hopefully won't be too long. We can get that going back through very quickly here. But MOUSESPORTS just, taking a quick moment here to get things up and running again, and we should be back in the mix soon. But losing 3 rounds in a row due to running down the clock, that is going to be a frustrating turn of events.
Wow.
They don't look very pleased at all right now on the side of MOUSESPORTS.
Look at the stress on that face. 2-0s all the way to the finals, and then suddenly...
Yeah, all of a sudden it's like,
Yeah.
it's not working.
Device brought some of that Astralis residue with him. It's definitely rubbing off on Ninjas in Pajamas. Indeed, they've got the wisdom inside the server and out now with Threat in the back, the chief strategist. So I think it's a pretty good look for them with the youngsters on the team.
Oh, yeah.
And the match is due to resume. So we've got the Hero AK on Bemis and some pistols, the odd grenade for MOUSESPORTS as they look to not lose this one by timeout as well, surely. Some long, dry rounds. The landscape has suddenly become arid for the likes of MOUSESPORTS. They've got the one flashbang in this round. Hampus trying to make his way towards Secret, but he's getting stuck. And he'll have to think of a plan B.
He needs to get out of dodge. Can he get a teammate to help him out here? Yeah, there's the flash. All right, so he gets a flash and he is out of there. That was definitely a bit too touch and go there. He maybe got a little complacent there. Hampus getting caught on edges that he really shouldn't. This is an eco round, but still. Nice preparation there from Rez. Nearly getting the follow-up on BMAS.
Well then, we've got some plays down towards Secret. Dexter still has the bomb. There'll be a weapon exchange. There are the Deagle Blazes. And then sound is cut. Plopsky will make his way close. Does he elevate to his position though? Might jump on the boxes here. Now he's got a crossfire with his teammate on the ramp. Should he come down? That's Hampus. He may offer a flashbang or something with all of 2 HP Hampus. 40 seconds remain now. The doors of opportunity have been opened, but it's a bait. Dexter creeps in on the other side. That is maybe an AUG to be collected. You could win a round with an AUG. Hampus needs to stay alive, needs to wait for his team to rotate in. I think if he died there, that would fill MOUSESPORTS with confidence. See Rez on the ladder as well. He'll be out of action for a while. Device dropped. Seems to be happening. We've seen clutches in this situation before, though. But it's a lot resting on ZTR in this position, 100 HP and the AK-47. That bomb is ticking pretty fast. Hampus can't really take a fight. I don't know how he wins a duel here. Dexter has the AWP. This one's taking pretty long. ZTR's on the bomb now. Does he have the cover? No. Bemis closes the doors. There's a crossfire as well. Very unlikely round, just one from out of nowhere by MOUSESPORTS. But they won't take the AWP.
Rez will be able to make it. Does he make it? Oh, he does not make it. Will not be able to save the AWP, but Hampus has got plenty. He can drop one for Device. So they will be able to get fully equipped on the side of NIP going into this next round.
It's crazy how those rounds escalate from, let's see if we can plant the bomb, to let's win the round.
Yeah, and how quickly it was. I mean, just everybody from NIP, they just thread that needle. And everybody from NIP after that is just out of position at that point. Rez, you saw him blocked off in the vents forever. Not able to really have an impact. Actually had to completely change it up and rotate to Secret. So, I mean, it makes you wonder if the retake was supposed to go forward at all at that point, when you have half of your guys not even able to make it to the lower site. So, a bit of a discussion going on MOUSESPORTS right now. Tactical timeout called.
Robs is a big fan of palm trees.
He is.
Should come out here.
Yeah, there's palm trees in the parking lot right here. So many palm trees in Los Angeles, they just stick them by the cars. Don't even know what to do with them. You think there's any palm trees in Estonia? Do you think they'd survive?
Those winters are pretty cold.
Yeah.
I've been to Estonia, Tallinn and Tartu, student town. They've got loads of goats in the zoo in Tallinn. They've got loads of different species of goat. That was like the standout thing. And they had a polar bear sitting in the cage playing with the padlock on the gate, which made me very nervous. They can run faster than you, they can climb, and they can swim. So if it escapes, you basically have to trip somebody else up to save yourself.
Exactly.
And I'm willing to do that.
Just run faster than
I'll
the
do
next
it.
guy.
If it's a polar bear situation, I'm tripping somebody up.
Let's see if this is a polar situation, because Frozen about to make his way through some mist, and he gets a kill. Acor takes Device as well. 2-man advantage now for MOUSESPORTS.
Yeah, Frozen starting to warm up on the outside. Feels like a very risky position for Hampus to play, and how do you know when it's the right time to peek like that? The wide swing so exposed. Anyway, we've got to play towards the ramp now. Rops may be paid off here. Looks like NIP are fitting to push. Indeed, they are. The double peek. Is it too little too late? Looks like it is, as Plopsky remains in a 1 versus 4.
Yeesh. This
is fantastic for MOUSESPORTS, because NIP are not going to have much money left, as we can see.
Is this the AUG skin that you like a lot?
That's the Sid Mead one, I think, or something.
Okay.
I had the Hot Rod one, but with an Eye by Power Hollow on it, which I sold. So I don't know what I like now in terms of I don't have one right now. I need one for my red loadout. We'll see.
We'll have to get on that and tweet recommendations to Bardolph.
Yes. Maybe a radiation hazard. I think there's an AUG radiation hazard, or maybe I'll need one that's not released yet. Plopsky will try to hold on to the AWP, and this would be really crucial if he can hold on to this.
He actually does a terrific job holding on to the AWP for the next round. This is solid. This is going to give...
It could be big.
I mean, they just can't go for a buy with this kind of economy, though, Nip, or it would be extremely risky to go for this buy. But they're going for it.
All right. Straight in there.
All right, let's see it. Deagles and nades and UMPs and just all sorts of things here. Have they picked up on something? Have they identified a weakness? Can they try and hit some kind of timing with this smoke wall that keeps going up outside for MOUSESPORTS, and that MOUSESPORTS, Frozen keeps pushing through? There's the smoke going outside already. So Lurk smoke, making Frozen a little nervous. He's going to have to be careful. Hampus checking for the silo boost, but nobody is there. Now, can he spot Frozen here when this smoke clears?
It is not often. I was wondering how he would change up his approach, because I feel like he can't play that position every round that he was playing. That was kind of scary. Again, Frozen starting to warm up outside. Oh, he just has the angle. And Hampus gets deleted once again. Problems increasing now for Ninjas in Pyjamas on the CT side. Bemis making his way into the A-bomb side, but maybe there's still a chance, because Frozen's got his knife out. Almost gets a second swipe, but not quite. Plopsky now on the ground with the AUG, looking for the angles. Down goes Rops, not expecting to play to his left, though. That's Bemis, of course. Now leaves Device in a 1 versus 2. Scoped in already. Acor can't hold this angle for too long, because he's got to go and plant the bomb as well, but he's going to get dropped. Out for the AK is Device, and he will delete Bemis as well. Very back and forth affair, and indeed, that AWP did come in handy.
What a shot from Device, that last AK shot. All right, he can just do it all. It's like, really? He's going to give up the AWP in favor of an AK. Okay, fine, fair enough. This can get messy. No, one tap. It's fine. Dude, what a fantastic round for Nip to win, though. I'm just sitting here when we're starting to see how this round is shifting in favor of MOUSESPORTS. I'm just sitting here thinking, okay, they've got their feet back under them now. They're going to start extending that lead, and Nip are going to be in the dumpster. And yet, here you go. Massive clutch win for NIP. And to the point where MOUSESPORTS, well, this is just an essentially hard eco these days. MOUSESPORTS just trying to save as much money as possible going into the next round. Only a single round of loss bonus, so really not a whole lot to fall back on right now.
Now this is a turn of the events. So MOUSESPORTS are going to run away with this half, and maybe they'll get another... Oh! More knives in the vents this time, though. No kill, and the bomb's been dropped as well. But for how long? Been collected by Acor now. Again, these weird rounds becoming awkward for NIP, but maybe that is the kill that turns their fortunes around. Bemis has an opportunity, though. If there's a push through the smoke, they'll punish the slow reload of the UMP. So slow to reload of that UMP. Sees the gun through the vent, and Rops will be deleted by the USP of Device. Back and forth affair now. 2 rounds for MOUSESPORTS, 2 rounds for NIP of the last 4. And MOUSESPORTS will be back on the bye. I honestly thought that we might see like 9-10 rounds for MOUSESPORTS. Maybe we still could, but Ninjas in Pajamas do have something to say about this.
We certainly could. We certainly could, because this is a buy round now coming up for MOUSESPORTS, and you know you see how close it is, even when they just have. That was essentially a hard eco bard off, and it still feels close. So now MOUSESPORTS. Look at this turn of speed. Rob straight out onto the upper site, similar to what we saw in the pistol, and yet somehow he survives long enough to fight back. ZTR getting a kill, 2 kills.
I don't know how he's managed to do that. Find himself a lineup through the smoke, and Device finds himself a lineup just before the smoke goes down. That makes the numbers even, 2 for 2. They don't know where Hampus is, normally outside, but currently coming from the ramp, and Frozen has the wrong angle at the wrong time, which leaves Dexter to do it. Dexter in a clutch, 7 for 7 at the moment is Dexter, making his way downstairs quietly. Hampus racing, though, to get into position. Device will be upstairs somewhere. Hampus disappears somewhat. Dexter rotating back out again. Device with angles, but surely Dexter will have a crosshair in this direction at some point. And Device has got 8 HP, so he's probably going to die now. No, sees him fast enough and just looks away. Moves into the A bomb site, completely changes his position, but it seems that Hampus may be going towards A as well. Molly in the vent gives the game away, and he realizes Hampus, it is going to be the B bomb site, but hey, he has a chance for a spray in the smoke, I think, if he dares peek it before Device rotates.
Well, they know. They at least know that this guy, yep, Device has to be aware of it. It's going to be a brilliant headshot. Beautiful work from Dexter. Impeccable stuff. Kept his cool. 3 kills for him in that round. That was a must-win situation. Not a lot of emotion getting shown either.
It's stressful, that's why.
Just freaking dialed in at this point.
Yeah, no time for smiling. NIP is threatening to have a very reasonable score on their CT side. That maybe that round will change it for MOUSESPORTS, because we can see what devastation it has wrought on the economy. 2 M4s and a bunch of pistols. It is forced by territory for the Ninjas, and MOUSESPORTS are at strong advantage once again. 10 rounds still possible on their pick of nuke on the T side. Device finds himself a flame. Sound cue heard by MOUSESPORTS, and he's forced away. Acor simply waiting. This man has got himself some nasty angles from mat to mat.
Ready for Hampus. And now Device as well, just kind of chilling out, wondering if he's going to be able to catch an angle here or not. MOUSESPORTS still, as is their trademark at this point, just content to sit and hold angles. We will get the smoke wall set up outside to keep NIP guessing. Device outside in garage, can't see on either side of him. And, well, Frozen just checking to make sure that nobody is holding an angle that can spot on the other side of these smokes. So NIP are in the dark. But ZTR checked for by Acor. Nasty.
Great patience from him. Has support from Bemis as well, and now he can take position towards this A bomb site. 5 versus 2. Again, this is a force buy from Ninjas in Pajamas. And 5 may be the score they end this first half with. As they will lose everything one by one. Device with a Desert Eagle and armor. And that's about it.
This is essentially how it played out against Heroic for NIP. They got 5 rounds on the CT side and then proceeded to get pummeled in the second half as well. So right now it feels like NIP are still trying to figure out how exactly they want to play this CT side. Nuke, such a technical map. The Device joining the situation here has really just altered everything. And you also have ZTR that you're adjusting with as well. So by no means is this easy, and it seems like there's still a bit of work to be done. But yeah, MOUSESPORTS, man, fired up. Everybody, look at this. It's Rops who's sitting with 4 kills. Everybody else is at 10 or 9 for MOUSESPORTS. They're just doing work right now. Whole team looking very solid.
Can't keep up on Acor. It's really good to see him playing strong. I think everybody will be happy to see that. Another competitive sniper rising in the ranks here in Counter-Strike. Big shoes to fill. And in this tournament, at least, so far so good. 10 for 7 is Acor now on the T side of Nuke as we move into the second last round. Number 14. And the squeaky door's been blown off. Could be a fast one into the A bomb site here. They are up against an eco, and they may not give them time to rotate or respond. only ZTR on this A bomb site. We have Flames, Fire, and Fury up top towards Heaven. So maybe a while before NIP can choose to make a play. MOUSESPORTS looking good for 9. I'm not sure what NIP have to offer really in this round beyond trying to take a rifle into the next one. But they're in a spot of commitment. They'll have to make a play into the A bomb site. I don't know what Device is up to.
Make the noise, draw the attention, be the bait, and then become the frag. Because I don't really see what else they're going to be able to do here. Yep, Device is gone. 9-5, and we may get a repeat scoreline here for NIP. Only 5 rounds on the CT side of Nuke. That does not bode well. But then, you know, we've seen teams getting more and more, you know, T-side rounds on Nuke. What do you think right now, Bartle? Do you think that they'll be able to run it back in the second half?
It's hard to tell. I think this is a playground for MOUSESPORTS, it looks like, and if they have struggling this much on the CT side versus the likes of Mouse, we're frozen on the MOUSESPORTS team on the CT side. If he decides to cause problems outside, I don't see how they stop him, but we'll see. He hasn't been a lightning rod just yet. Last round of the first half, and with the minute 25, the NIP utility is 2 flashbangs, and that's it. So they've got their work cut out for them, and ZTR will take matters into his own hands with a spot of aggression, and Dexter is deleted. That's the top fragger for MOUSESPORTS out of this final round. Have a look at this position of Device to Plopsky's left. Falling off now, but surely he re-emerges for a crossfire. Device with the trigger discipline, looking for 2. That's the bomb as well. Very favorable now for NIP. Maybe they'll steal a round away after all. Acor in the clutch, 1 minute, 1 versus 3.
9-6 possible here if NIP can just keep their cool. 40 seconds left on the clock as well for Acor to clutch this out. And nobody should be giving him any targets. They should just be waiting for him on bomb sites. That's where he has to go. They know that's where he has to go. So just lock him out when he's planting that bomb. No reason to face otherwise. But 9-6 actually bodes fairly well. If NIP can somehow find a way to win a pistol round, they're going to be cooking with gas at that point.
Now Molly's going to be very important, but someone's ahead of it. And there we go. It will be a 6th round for Ninjas in Pajamas. A spot of aggression towards the end there gives them 1 extra. We'll see if it goes to a 3rd map of Inferno after the break.
I'm not playing it, but I believe the A-bomb site on Nuke have been a really mess for some months now. You could see a lot of teams are playing it way more often than usually, and all the cities are having a hard time to defend it.
Mirage B-side, man. You're just jumping constantly. I've been jumping for 5 years already. It's the same over and over again. I'm just tunnel vision. The only thing I'm doing is jumping for 1 minute, and suddenly there comes 5 guys. I'm alone. Definitely, I think that's the most boring place to hold CT.
A on Vertigo.
Yeah, I can say Mirage on in middle. That could be a pretty frustrating place to be with an AWP.
B Mirage. I just don't like it. There is 10 flashes and you look at the ground, and then there is a guy in the kitchen already, and you didn't see a single thing.
I would say it's Mirage B, but for me I really like it, but I think everybody else would say Mirage B.
A site on Nuke, because you don't have a lot of spots to play, and most of the time you just get flashed. So it's like super hard to dodge flashes, and you don't have a lot. Either you get like Molotov'd out, or you're gonna get fully flashed.
I think it's B Vertigo. I don't have to do it, but I think every B Vertigo player feels me.
Well then, we move back into Nuke. I heard the A site mentioned. in some of those bomb site opinions. And now it's MOUSESPORTS' turn to defend that A bomb site. So let's see. And that's before Ancient comes into the map pool as well, which may be even more difficult. But it's still evolving in front of our eyes. I'm curious to see what it looks like a year from now. Ancient, hopefully less green, for one.
Yeah, but where do you go? Slate gray? Light gray stones? It's all actually maybe out of marble. See, then it would be all right. White marble. then you get that
Reflective limestone. That would be better.
Okay, we can do that too.
Device has got a USP. And he's on the outside. Ninjas in pajamas, trail by 3. This could be a big pistol run for MOUSESPORTS. They could close out Nuke quickly if they are able to be successful here. So far, so good. They get the opening kill, or Aoros. That was the sitter for him. Just moving at the same time, though. He's got Dexter for support, but he hasn't been able to save his teammate. Takes one in the face from range, and you start to wonder now. Oh, that's a nice one tap from Dexter. Got Rez creeping up by the windows, but his teammates are dropping all over the place. Leads by example. 3 kills for Dexter, 15 for 9, and Rez, it's his turn to clutch now and do similar from a similar position. Creeping outside, he knows where both CTs are. He has to go and get the bomb as well, but he won't be able to. Not this time. Double figures for MOUSESPORTS. They move to 10.
Dude, Dexter gets the 3rd kill as well. Split second before he dies. That puts him up to 15 kills, nearly top fragging on the map. The only device ahead of him. Dude, that was a disgusting pistol round from Dexter. That is outrageous that he gets that 3rd kill. The second one was pretty spicy as well, though, to be fair.
Nice,
like, that was actually really nice. But, man, what a play. MOUSESPORTS double digits right off the bat, and MOUSESPORTS just cannot seem to lose pistol rounds to NIP. Now, NIP, obviously going to hope that they can upset them here. But MOUSESPORTS do not really skip any corners, any steps. They've got 4 rifles ready to go. It's going to be very difficult here for NIP to crack this bomb site. Just makes me wonder if NIP have managed to actually get enough time here on this map to start getting comfortable on this T side, start getting things mapped out. But Inferno is the 3rd map if necessary, and that is going to be a very difficult situation. Still, 3rd map. Let's go. All the way, Bardolph.
Oh, it looks like the execution's on the way now. Aoros a little blind. Somehow still squeezing 2 kills out of this, and Beamers can clean up the rest. Be a bait for Rops to activate from the rafters, and that leaves Rez alone. Sound cue's heard already by Frozen, who's crab walking into an off angle. And will deliver the frag. 11 to the 6 of Ninjas in Pajamas. They're in eco territory now. They're going to really have this uphill struggle ahead of them. Assuming they lose this one, it'll be a 6-12 scoreline at the beginning, the real beginning, if you will, of the second half, post-pistol, the first buy round for both squads. Not there quite yet.
Yeah, what's going on today is the admin is asking, and I'm definitely wondering the same thing. Just constant TeamSpeak crashes, player crashes, everybody's crashing.
16-9 bug? Not familiar.
Sunday games, man. Well, Rops plays 16-9, doesn't he?
He does.
But he's the only one I know off the top of my head who plays 16-9. Who else plays native?
Me.
Well, yeah, but I mean, as in...
That's all that's important.
Yeah, fair enough.
No, I don't know what the other... I don't keep up with all the different... I try to change my config as little as possible.
Yeah, the same. I haven't touched my config in freaking ever. But I mean, I'm kind of curious about that, if more pros are playing 16x9 or not. Because everybody seems to have those weird ones where you have to like download the specific drivers and all that. I'm like, I can't be asked. CBA. All right, let's get into the thick of things here. Handful of deagles for NIP. Just looking to do some damage.
Oh,
speaking
boy,
of
91.
Speaking of.
Alrighty then.
Plofsky, that sucks.
If you got no Kevlar, a grenade can hit you and then explode and do 101 in 2 hits. Little combo. So they are very dangerous if you are naked outside, as Launders is threatening to be. And then there was a Hampus. Off the side he goes. Very brief anti-eco round. A fast anti-eco round is a good anti-eco round.
Yes.
12-60. Guns come out now for Ninjas in Pajamas. Hampus going for the Krieg.
Yeah, Hampus going for the Krieg. Interestingly enough, Device isn't going to have the money for an AWP. Whereas Rops and Acor both going for Ops on the CT side. So this is going to be interesting.
We're seeing a lot of slower rounds from T sides in general. And I feel like when the CTs have 2 AWPs, there's often a free kill where someone just walks into an angle and it's like, oh, they've got an AWP. And it's a very costly piece of information to find out. Oh, there goes the Krieg.
Shot on Hampus, taking out that Krieg already. Acor, just such a strong start. He is tied with Dexter now for kills. Dude, Acor, I mean, again, we put a lot of focus on Acor going into this series, saying that he really needed to step up individually to not let the pressure get to him. And while he has certainly shown up so far on the first 2 maps of this series.
A re-smoke of Squeaky. Dexter moving into position. He is expectant. Yeah, Frozen playing a similar position to what Hampus was doing, actually. Maybe inspired by his opponent. Frozen has been nasty on the outside of Nuke in recent games. Utterly nasty. Some very heavy output indeed. I think he and Rops are the highest rated players in the tournament, right?
Right now, Rops and Frozen, yeah.
35 seconds on the clock. It is a very late one from the Ninjas. And Frozen's just been patient this entire time. As soon as the flash comes in, 5 versus 3. Made 2 by Dexter. Bombs on the floor. And again, a slow, methodical round. 22 seconds left on the clock and nothing to show for it for Ninjas in Pajamas.
They're the highest rated, but they also played, MOUSESPORTS also played against Fnatic first round, which was essentially a free match. And then Big before Big woke up. And so that was, they were the team that put Big into the lower bracket. And as we saw earlier today, you know, Big finished fifth overall. But at the beginning of this tournament, Big were looking pretty, you know, wishy-washy. So MOUSESPORTS ate them alive. And I think that's where, you know, Rops and Frozen really got a good helping hand. But yeah, Frozen currently the top-rated player in the tournament. Rops right behind him.
Yeah, and Rops trying to catch up now as we can see, but Frozen will pull away once again. 2 kills for each. Hampus 1 versus 3. Now it's none versus 3. MOUSESPORTS are shutting things down on their CT side of Nuke. And this one may be brief, but hey, NIP are back on the buy once again. If they plant the bomb, they'll have 4,200. And then maybe a second buy. But then it'll be game point for the MOUSESPORTS. So they won't want it to get that far, but perhaps it's not up to them. We've got 2 AK-47s on the CT side in the hands of Frozen and Bemis, and that will make them even more dangerous than normal. And off they go to the races. Acor on the outside. 2 AWPs continue for MOUSESPORTS. Grenades outside as well. Hampus and Rez heavily damaged. Frozen under the silo. Got some sound cues, and do wonder if NIB will have the focus to check this, or if they'll assume that no one is here. Looking towards T-Red, it seems. Hampus deleted, and there goes Rez as well. Guess what? Frozen's back.
He is so fired up. And Acor can back off now, leave him behind. Frozen doesn't care. He'll still hang around here to take these fights. ZTR, Device, Polopsky. Last 3 alive for the Ninjas. And well, Device, I mean, this is a good guy to lead out here. If he can catch Frozen getting greedy and peeking for some information, he could potentially get a punish with this AWP. That's what you hope to see, at least. They line up, and Acor is going to find the shot on Polopsky. There's
Death by paper cuts.
Yeah, it really feels that way. They're just getting slowly constricted. Quad kill for Frozen in the round. Monstrous. This is an excellent performance from MOUSESPORTS. They are clearly one of the best teams on Nuke right now. They built their tournament run on this map. And yeah, they just know how to play it. Keep in mind, in the beginning, in the first half, NIP won 3 of the rounds that they've have so far. They have a total of 6. 3 of those is just because MOUSESPORTS ran out of time. Back to back to back. The clock ended up running down on MOUSESPORTS.
Nine game points for MOUSESPORTS. See a mixed bag from the Ninjas, 2 AKs, a Galil, and some SMGs. The whisper of the wind outside, behind Hampus's ears as he goes down secret. Rops is posted up with one of the 2 AWPs, and it looks so hard for Ninjas in Pyjamas, the way they're just jiggling. Find information, that information proves very expensive indeed, and it becomes even more so. Dexter again by Squeaky. Just brutality. Never seen a choke point look so difficult. NIP never really in this game of Nuke, and MOUSESPORTS delete them and all be quickly heading towards Inferno.
Yeah, but to be fair, I mean, kind of like to see this. Just get it over with quick and move on to Inferno. Better chance on Inferno against MOUSESPORTS for NIP. You get this map out of the way. Once you realize that it's just so completely one-sided, it's like, okay, let's just get going and focus on the third map. Conserve energy for the third map.
Going all the way, thoughts of the panel on map 2 after the break.
So Dust 2 is Orpa's playground. I love to play it. I love to play Scout on it. I love to play everything on it. So it's ST for me as a player for sure. I never get bored of it. Okay, Inferno is S tier for me as well. It's always been one of my best maps, and I think it's one of the few maps which is really, really balanced. Like T side, CT side, you can be very dominant on either side. It's good for pistols because you have close range, but it's insane for AWPers, riflers. I think everybody can have fun on it. Mirage is A tier for me because I love to play it, especially in packs. Like if I think about playing Faceit, I think about Mirage. Like if I'm not playing Mirage on Faceit, it feels weird. So I could play it 10 straight maps on Faceit as well, so that's perfectly fine for me. So coming into this lineup, it probably would have been D tier for me, but now I think it's A tier. It's a really tactical map. You can do a lot of different stuff and outplay the enemies and everything. A really good map if you know how to play it and if you understand the game on it a bit. So it's not S tier, but A tier. Okay, Overpass is our permaban, and ever since I'm in Sprout, I didn't play it a single time. I think maybe one single game on Faceit, and going back to it, even though it's an AWPer's playground as well, just like Dust 2, especially on CT side, you can have a lot of fun, but playing T side, it's not too hard. It can be hard, but it's just annoying to play on T side. Train is B tier for me. Even though AWP is really strong on it, I don't know. It's fine. I like to play it. I always felt confident on it, but it's nothing special. It can be boring and can be a lot of the same. I'm putting Vertigo on B tier as well. I think it was horrible to play in the beginning, and it's horrible to play in packs. Like if I have to play it in packs, I'm going full crazy, because if people don't know what to do on this map or don't know some certain utility, just like Nuke, it's horrible to play in packs. But I think if you play it competitive, it can be really, really nice. I hope they agree with me. If not, I'm sorry, I can't change anything, but yeah.
An explosive end to Nuke to end out this map for MOUSESPORTS. It was their pick, and they come in strong. And I'm wondering how strong we were expecting MOUSESPORTS to be coming into this one, because they look so dominant on that second half.
That was a shutdown. That was a lockdown. That was impressive stuff. Everybody from Mouse was doing their job once they hit the CT side of things. And I think the looseness in their style, the fact that these players have so much freedom, it means that they also have a lot of comfort.
Yeah, I mean, by the end of it, it really just seemed like one giant MOUSESPORTS highlight reel. But in the first half, man, Device had a bit of a game of his own, you know? Really seemed like he was going to carry, but even with like almost 20 kills in the first half, Nip was suffering.
You know, MOUSESPORTS, I'm actually having trouble trying to find that one word to describe their style, and I think that's their strength, that they actually play loosely enough that they're hard to read, but they also seem very cohesive in that they're like malleable and they have good timings together and stuff like that. And when they mid-round, they don't look lost. They mid-round, they had one bad round, I think, where they tried to go mini and Device almost aced, But apart from that, they do a good job of making it seem like it was the plan all along.
I think that's a good point. I think that they can actually play a looseness so that everybody can focus on themselves in these kind of early round stages. But when they have to use teamwork, when they have to work together, that's when they actually jump up a level. That they can actually all, at any point in time, be the person that's playing the support role, the clutch role, the entry role. They feels like they're just so versatile from start to finish.
Look at the scoreboard. You got Frozen, Dexter, Acor, the three people we were talking about the most before this segment even started.
Yeah, they heard us. They definitely heard us. And I like that you bring up in terms of having those different looks as well, because I feel like, throughout this year, MOUSESPORTS has maybe had a little bit of an identity crisis as well. So it's really good to be able to see them, forming a bit of a plan, but around that loose style as well.
I've been wrong about so many things this year, but MOUSESPORTS is one thing where the composition was really good, and I expected that the results would get better and that their results didn't actually represent how good they were, and it's actually starting to happen really fast in front of us where we're seeing them be. It's hard to even tell who is going to be a good pick against them stylistically. They're so versatile.
Yeah, and I think speaking a little bit more about Nuke as well, Semler said it during the game, it's kind of where MOUSE have built a lot of their success coming into FlashPoint 3 as well. So what do you feel like was the biggest difference, particularly on that second half, considering, NIP could barely get their foot in the door?
Anybody?
I think that the second half is really just, I think Frozen just dominates outside. It's hard to ignore him. The fact is that he gets very little support, like Launder said in the pregame, but it's just like the occasional Acor flash is just the mix-up that they need in rounds to basically set him up. Because other than that, he's just playing around smokes, and it always feels like he knows what's going on. I feel like Frozen, if anybody on this team, is probably just the way he's able to play around his opponents in these situations. It feels like this guy's just grinding demos and knowing what the opponents are going to do before they even do it.
To be honest, Frozen doesn't have that same level of allure as someone like Nico, but right now he's looking just as good as Nico outside on both halves. When
he's so fast,
controlling yard on T side, or even look at that
shot,
dude. He was aware from he won most of his duels versus Hampus when he was alone outside like Nico, and on CT side he's alone outside like Nico, and was having even more impact, at least in up to this point in FlashPoint. And I didn't expect it to be this good again, but it was this good again from Frozen. He stood out from the rest.
Yeah, and I mean, just prepare yourself for the worst analysis possible. Straight up, I think NIP was losing gunfights. Like every single duel in the second half especially, it didn't matter which player from MOUSESPORTS was taking them. They were winning these fights decisively. I mean, Frozen really was the spearhead of it all. Acor coming alive early on in the second half and delivering throughout. And then Dexter over at Inner, like anytime an Inner execute came through, he was picking up at least 2, sometimes 3. And I hate to just they're hitting their shots, but NIP just didn't get a chance to even get into the game.
And I think that's the thing. We were kind of prefacing that as the difference maker of that second half. But even going back into the first half, Frozen was really showing up big. And we also have another round that we want to be talking about, but this time at the side of Dexter. Round number 12, a beautiful clutch. The Dexter difference, I think you called it.
But one thing that's so fantastic about Nuke is just the psychology is so apparent from both sides in this situation. So whenever you leave vent open, a player is prone to drop down. But now every CT knows it, so it's all about gaming the rotation back and forth. And Dexter actually drops down through vent, but realizes it might be obvious, comes back out to secret, and NIP setup is so good, they're actually spotting this with device in heaven. But as soon as Dexter gets spotted, he turns back, knowing that now Hampus is going to be pulled back out of the ramp and won't spot this cross, and Dexter makes haste, puts a molly down in vent, not knowing where Hampus is, but knowing that it could either be ramp or by vent, and Hampus is late to the bomb plant, and then the bomb goes down. Dexter makes a connection between the smoke and control. He can leave. Hampus has no idea if he went into dark or if he stayed here. Dexter figures out one of the rotations will come via vent, even notices that he might have missed the timing and makes sure to clear device. And it felt like device is getting a lot of timings this game. And then here is totally aware of where Hampus is, and he plays it with so much confidence. Doesn't wait for the actual perfect moment where the bomb is getting stuck and there's 4 seconds, then he swings and it might be in a smoke. He just knows that, okay, Hampus is going to be doing something here. I'm going to trust myself to win this. It was just so perfectly played.
And considering NIP only won one more round after that round was played out, would you guys look at that as a potential turning point for MOUSE to just be getting that momentum to closing out the map?
I actually think that NIP or MOUSESPORTS were in control. Even if they lost that one, I think MOUSESPORTS would have still won this pretty convincingly. That CT side was flawless. Frozen didn't even die a single time on the defense there. Like, if NIP win that, sure, maybe they win 1 or 2 more rounds, but their T side was pretty clueless from that point on. They were getting completely outplayed no matter where they went across the map.
They didn't even need props. like at all.
Right.
It wasn't even close, and they didn't
And
need
that's
Robs.
scary.
He looked
Yeah.
borderland, honestly.
And the other day when they played against G2, they didn't need a core at all, and they still beat G2 in 2-0. You know what I mean? This team is really scary right now.
Yeah, I think that's so scary when you're just looking at the individuals like that. And we don't often not see Rops do anything either, which is pretty scary if you're on the opposing team of NIP.
I think it also just goes to show the respect that NIP have for him, especially on the CT sides. Like, they challenged him once or twice, and he had like some highlight reel shots just hitting his mark. And to me, that is, you know, just understanding Rops is going to play that so disciplined, right? That's not an obvious entryway into your T side. Like, trying to go and get a pick on him is never going to be easy. And the rotations throughout were solid by MOUSESPORTS because they were almost always at a player advantage, and it just seemed so easy for them. I really am starting to respect how good these guys are.
And touching upon the individuals as well, it wasn't just Dexter in that 1v2 clutch. Throughout the entire map, Lex, I know you were praising how much Dexter was having an impact throughout Nuke.
I mean, I always just am, it's always a marvel to me when a guy can IGL, clutch, and frag consistently. It's not often that you get to see that in CS, and he is, you know, coming into a new roster. Had a little bit of a shaky start over the months, but you know, this Dexter performance, you know, it stands out here on Nuke, but really throughout Flashpoint 3, he's somebody that's wowed us all, not just with his mechanics, but his decision making and his prowess. It's competent and it's consistent, where, you know, you can almost always count on him to be contributing in a big way to their victories.
He's not scared either. And like, there's just a particular way about it. Dexter does stand out from everybody in terms of his rifling. He's not in the ultra perfect spot. Sometimes it looks like, oh, that's a little bit risky, but he really does a good job of standing his ground. And I think that's what sometimes catches people off guard. He's a little bit deeper in an angle than you expect. When he's like opening the control door in that one round, he's like right in the middle of the doors. Like, he is committing to this fight. And you know, that little crosshair displacement where you think they're playing it ultra perfectly, that can sometimes just be the little edge you need at this level of Pro CS that'll catch you off guard. And it would be scary, I think, to go up against a guy like Dexter, who really hasn't played at this level for this long in Europe, and see him playing like that versus you.
Yeah, I think that's what's so incredible about watching Dexter's journey as well, is the transformation that we've seen of him too. And we heard it from him in the interview. He changed that. Yeah, you know, yeah, nice, you like that one. The gear, I think that was a really interesting point in the interview as well. We kind of took that as maybe a metaphorical sense. No, he literally changed all his peripherals, and he feels like that's actually made a difference to him.
Yeah, he's not only just switching his gear. I mean, he's getting in first gear. I mean, he's going all the way. I mean, no,
he's pulling out the lot right now.
Yeah, that's a better one.
I'm going to cut that metaphor. No, yeah, I think on top of that,
on the Autobahn.
What's really impressive is he's getting the most out of all of his players. I think that's something that I think actually more so than Kerrigan right now. Like, in a debate between Kerrigan and Dexter, like, I'm actually taking Dexter today by a large margin, and that's something that I think everybody thought that this was going to be a downgrade. I thought everybody thought, for the most part,
not Launders.
maybe not Launders, but a lot of people thought, how is this going to work out? And people thought FaZe was going to go up, MOUSESPORTS was going to go down. It's the complete opposite, and you got to give a lot of credit to Dexter, not only for his individual performance, but the way that he's put this roster together, or at least structured it.
Maybe we can get some thoughts from Anders as well to see what he thinks. Kerrigan or Dexter, where are you kind of landing on this one, Anders?
They told me Launders would be naked. What is going on?
Not till later, man.
If NIP
Why
had
even
won,
bring me in here?
Anders, if NIP had won, Launders would be naked.
Oh yeah, we're good now.
Which makes me kind of want Mouse to win, even though I'll be the one going in the dunk tank. But what did you make of that second map, Anders?
I partly kind of want to see this NIP story continue. I think it's real bad news that that it's going to go to Inferno for the part of NIP. I really think MOUSESPORTS are going to be pretty good on that map, but they just didn't really look like they were ready for it. They lost a really early round where I think they had Plopsky down on the B-bomb site, and they were in a 5-on-3. I think they never managed to rotate, and that is the common symptom, I think, of a CT side on Nuke that has lost control of where the Ts are. And it is the most obvious sign of someone who's just not really feeling 100% on playing that CT side, because I mean, you could do a lot on that CT side of Nuke, but once you see that the Ts are allowed to get downstairs and nobody really knows, they don't have track of them out in the yard or anything. I saw a lot of that out of NIP, and I think it can definitely happen when you're doing these roster changes, but that was a really early sign for me that NIP had lost a little bit grip of it. The only thing that I could really take away from it as well, just if you wanted to say something positive for NIP, is that again, that res and device combo is still working really well even when they're losing. I want to name it Revice, because I just think we need a name for that combo, but it's amazing. It's working really well.
Yeah, better than Dez. Yeah, that doesn't work so much. Right, yeah, let's keep that one. And let's open up the conversation to Inferno as well. You were saying that, Anders, you weren't too sure whether you should be feeling confident if you're NIP coming into this. Are you guys echoing the same thoughts?
Device is a world-class player on all maps, and Inferno is a map that made Astralis had the win record on in their heyday, and he always had a really strong impact. So he's going to be a threat. I think he can slot into it. I think Inferno CT side is actually it's not easy. It's not easy, but it's among the easier, I think, especially when coming into maybe a new system for him, where he can pick where he takes his opening duels and stuff like that. He knows how to dodge these nades. I expect him to have a lot of impact still.
So, Anders, who are you going to be siding with to be taking this third and final decider map?
I still really want to pick NIP just for the, but I honestly, looking at the stats and just the past history, I'm gonna have to go with MOUSESPORTS. Actually, I hate to do it, but just something says I think it's gonna be Mouse taking this one away. I think they're gonna be too good on it.
Well, thank you so much, Anders, for joining us. Hopefully, we'll be seeing you after this matchup is concluded as well, and hope you enjoy the game.
I will.
And Inferno as this third and final decider. We call this the best decider that can be ending off a series, especially a grand final. What are your guys' thoughts coming into this, just quickly from each side?
I almost kind of wish it was Train, honestly. Give it a proper send-off. But I think the biggest thing for me here on Inferno, something that really wowed me about MOUSESPORTS on their CT side, was Dexter and his ability to control Banana, sometimes with support from Aoros, sometimes not. I think that's something that NIP has to deal with for them to even have a chance here on the T side of Inferno.
Well, we're going to be seeing exactly how this one is playing out as we head into our third and final decider map. It's going to be Inferno, and Semler and James will be guiding you on through it.
Who's going to win?
Oh, ye of little faith. Nip, they're going to lock this down. Have you seen who MOUSESPORTS have played against Inferno? They've just been playing against Scrubs. No, but let's not say that. Let's say that they have been playing against teams that aren't of the same caliber as NIP. And so I think that NIP are going to offer much more of a match on Inferno, and we're fixing to get a legendary final map for our grand finals.
Inferno as a decider, always a classic.
It's exactly what you hope to see every single time, James. But okay, putting it into context for you, right? MOUSESPORTS, close qualifier. They played Inferno twice. They played against Movie Star Riders and Lil Mix, 2 wins, fantastic. They played against Fnatic, first round here. Again, Fnatic, not the strongest team in this tournament, and so MOUSESPORTS took that, and they beat G2 on it. So they're on a 4-map win streak, but they are playing against teams, of like the Tier 2, Tier 3 caliber, and then G2 are in there as well. NIP, however, have just been going toe-to-toe. They've taken down G2 on the map. We saw that from them twice. There's been the battle there, 1-1, and then they played FPX on it as well. And FPX are no joke on Inferno. They are a solid team on the map. So I think we're kind of sleeping on NIP here a little bit, and we should not underestimate them. I can guarantee you MOUSESPORTS are not underestimating NIP going into this Inferno map.
Well, I put maximum points on Ninjas in Pajamas.
You did, that's right. You mad lad.
I've been the leader of the NIP train. Let's see if the train will continue or if MOUSESPORTS will halt it on this game of Inferno. It's a knife round. We have the very expensive knives out. Oh, Rops a swing and a miss, and Ninjas in Pajamas, I presume, will start on the CT side.
Presumably.
Ooh, ZTR's got he's got himself a Ruby.
Quick restroom break, I'm assuming.
I used to have one of those.
I can't run off for a restroom break. That's unfair.
NIP just keep upgrading their knives like every day.
Mm-hmm.
Rubies and emeralds.
Yeah, but there's not enough Tiger Tooth. Tiger Tooth is the real swag, man. That's where it's at.
I think Bayo Ruby is my favorite knife that I've ever owned.
Bayo Tiger. I've still got my tilt knife.
Tilt knife.
Yeah, it's called tilt knife because I was tilting in a game and I bought it to make myself feel better. But I've got an M9 Bayo factory new, and it's like,
nice.
Yes.
Big gold gun. Knife, rather.
See, that's good stuff.
There's a Tiger Tooth. Butterfly knife. I always want to call the butterfly knife Karambit. I always pause because I'm like, what's it called again? I don't know why. I used to have one of those.
It's a butterfly. Yeah, legit.
I think
man of taste.
Yeah. No, I had a Karambit Tiger Tooth, which I eventually sold and bought a Karambit Fade, which was a dream knife. It was one I always wanted.
Mm-hmm.
I remember Pasha's Karambit Fade. That was like just so cool for ages, and I was like, I have to have one of these one day. And I was so happy when I got it.
And you made it happen, Bardolph.
I did.
See, now these guys, it's not like they're hunting them down. They're just getting loaned these knives, I guess, is what you made us understand the other day.
Oh, some of them, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Device is getting, he's got lots of loans in his inventory. But who knows? Well then, we're off to the races now. The real game is beginning. MOUSESPORTS will be heading up to the top of mid at the very least. We've got grenades being deployed, but Rez already found himself a kill. Looking for another one now. Again, NIP chose. Oh, Rez! Oh, Rez, not like this! All of them? No! Just 4. Just 4? That's 4. That's 80%. Rops now's got so much work to do. Planting for the long side of things. Surely I'll push through the smoke together. All right, then, it's his turn to clean up now with the P250 doing his best. Rob! CSGO will put a stop to it. Great play from Rez, though. Very patient shots with the pistol.
There is a world where I'm just freaking out, and Rops is able to do the same thing with P250, with the P250, right?
Yeah.
He just starts doming everybody. That is one of the most ungodly pistol rounds that we've seen in a long time, though. What a play from Rez. He played those angles perfectly, got the info, and then just made it so difficult to trade. Sick. Sick work from Rez. That's a hard pistol round to reproduce, though, so we're not going to get too crazy about it. We're not going to get out of hand here. But that is a pistol round for NIP. Finally, NIP winning a pistol against MOUSESPORTS. Had to happen eventually. So Rob's going to go with the Russian AK now. Rest of the team with the pistols. And NIP full bot up. 3 SMGs, 2 rifles, ready to rumble. NIP will have had more time to just get more and more dialed in on this map. They've had some tough opposition in G2. That's been a learning experience for them. They emerged victorious last time. And so, I mean, G2, one of the teams to beat in this tournament, and NIP hanging right in there with them. So I don't think that we really cannot sleep on NIP on this map. I think that this is going to be a good, solid third map grand final here. It's whether or not the pressure, MOUSESPORTS are able to handle the pressure. Acor has been terrific on the first 2 maps of this series. Is he going to stay consistent in this third map?
Oh, hold on a second. They're rotating towards the B bomb site. Oh boy, they could be in some trouble here. And there's Rops able to cut off the rotation. What set off NIP to make their way towards the B bomb site? Hold on a second. Plopsky's here with the MP9, and they're going to run to their doom. They're stuck now. They had a chance to plant the bomb, and that's fading. Or is it? Everybody's been lost apart from ZTR. How has this happened? They always, these force-buying players often find a way to close the distance and pick up a rifle, and things go from bad to worse. So despite the great efforts in the pistol rounds, NIP are suddenly in the bin.
The hell did they see that actually set them off? It's just a realization, just a call, a gut feeling. But that was disastrous. So we see the kills again. That was a beautiful shot. But that's unreal. NIP finally win a pistol round, maybe getting a little ahead of themselves, maybe getting a little giddy. But, you know, they finally won a pistol. You're thinking, cool, second, third round, we're going to be in this. Actually have some rounds to work with. And no, just instantly shut down, not given an opportunity, not given it a chance. And now it's NIP going for Deagles, and Acor shooting Rez in the face already to kick things off. So early banana control here for MOUSESPORTS. Tampa's doing work with the Deag, though. Gonna make this interesting, at least. Not giving up without a fight.
See how many Hampus is good for. Repositioning now, just seeing Acor towards the end, but the bomb is still on T-ramp. So no commitment from MOUSESPORTS just yet. Keeping their options open. Device creeping in the apartments in the meantime. See how far he's willing to go. Hampus swinging behind that smoke. I think that may have been spotted. See if he elevates his position.
Is that going to be expected, though? Somebody should be checking for this.
Well, Device is bottom mid now. So we'll see if he's off to the races. Surely he gets one kill from this at least. Dexter recognizes him first. And there's Device on the flank now. Oh, that's a bomb carrier. He could find 2. No, Acor will trade that one. I think he's getting a little nervous, but ZTR 1 versus 3. It's all to play for. He has a defuse kit as well, it's worth noting. No one's actually covering CT. Really? No one's covering CT!
He knew somebody was past as well. I think he was just hoping that he had fully extended into banana. But no, Romps had just been holding the angle, and so he's able to save the day. But that, man, so close for NIP. So close, but that was a forced buy from them, and so this is going to be a hard round of eco coming up next. Still, the firepower is here for both of these teams, and now they're all warmed up and ready to go. So we're going to see more of these crazy headshot rounds. We're going to see more of these crazy plays coming in from both of these teams, without a doubt. But the gamble coming in now. It's going to be NIP once again, putting 4 players over towards the B site early. Device holding solo A. Evolution of the metas.
Device with the Zeus. Trying to pick up an opportunity, let's say. Again, a kill bonus sucks. It's more about what you find than the kill itself. Looking for a response, and Frozen may get one. Really got to pick the right time to do this, and I'll see him fall back. But now he can just re-aggress versus these USPs. Not too dangerous around for Frozen. It's time for him to warm up, actually. Can see all those Titan hollows on that AK, but I would prefer some more contrast. I don't think this is the best implementation. Not the worst either. There's plenty of worst examples. Well then, there we go, 3-1. Now the game can begin. Device with AWP money, but not Kevlar money. We'll see what he chooses to do. A Kevlarless sniper rifle on Inferno will be very restricted in what it can do.
It's scary if you peek mid and the HEs are coming at you. You can play banana as well. Yeah, it's not looking like he's going to go for it. Looks like he's going to go for a rifle instead. So rifle, nades. No kit picked up. This is dicey. This is going to be a scary round here for NIP. 3 players early over 2 short. A-Core is going to be holding close, though. If somebody were to peek, they'd be in for a surprise.
Immediately. Top mid is conceded by Ninjas in Pajamas, who have 4 players towards the A-bomb site. And MOUSESPORTS still establishing control of Banana. So
they're going to get it very early.
Yeah, they're giving this up, but why? Is it a trap? Do MOUSESPORTS just full commit here? What is their read of the situation? They've got Frozen going in for some dry peaks, and Devices in all kinds of trouble. Frozen with a 180 straight in the face, and that's the round. That is the round.
Yeah, they clearly... It seems to me like NIP right now have an idea of what MOUSESPORTS want to do, and so they're trying to preempt them with the pistol toward 4 towards B. They got 4 on A here, right? It's like they're trying to preempt MOUSESPORTS and really just hard shut down MOUSESPORTS, and yet MOUSESPORTS are just that extra step ahead where they've already made the adjustments to their game plan. They're like, okay, normally we would go A here. Well, this round we're going to go B. And Device just gets caught completely, and that was such a wide angle from Device as well, clearly not expecting someone to be up that aggressively, but Frozen was just like, yeah, okay, I'm going to just swing and you're going to be there, and that's fine. Utterly brutal turn of events. And do you even, I mean, you have money to buy. You can afford to lose a couple of guns, but I think MOUSESPORTS are just going to try and play this safe.
It's against the commonly expected timings, if you will. 4-1 now for MOUSESPORTS. A great start to the T side. There's the 180 swing, and he just domes him immediately. So Device will be on the MP9 for round number 6.
It's such a cool strategy, too, because they know that they're going to be light on nades. Like, Device throwing a smoke is useless. So had he had a molly or something, or even an HE, then you're going to get something out of that, right? But a smoke when they're already up on top of you, it's not really going to do much. So it's really good timing there to hit. That smoke, just canceling it all out. Screw your mollies. You're not going to get rid of me that easy, Frozen. It's just loving life right now. Comfortable, and in the meantime, Rops has already found Rez on short.
Noble effort from Hampers. However, massacred through the smoke by the tree position. Let's not forget the old tree on Inferno, which you used to be able to hop into. Good times. Flashes for either side, but Frozen is going to be a menace on this T side of Banana. That much is clear. Again, those earlier frags warming him up. 6 for 2 now, and those are impact frags.
Yeah, those are good. Those did a lot of damage.
Those last 2 frags at least. And now it's the A sites that will be claimed by MOUSESPORTS as they move to 5. And again, many a time we have seen Ninjas in Pajamas really turn things around, doing things the hard way, being victims for a time, and then eventually being the victor. But this is a horrible start to Inferno, it must be said. Again, just struggling after winning the pistol round.
Yeah, this is a worst case scenario. Winning the pistol and then proceeding to just get your head taken off round after round afterwards. You're allowing for MOUSESPORTS to get massive Benq as well. Just check out how much money BMAS is going to have after this. He hasn't even thrown a grenade yet, James. It's going to be just nothing but gravy for him. So, I mean, the rest of MOUSESPORTS, their money's coming along quite nicely as well. So 7-2 for Rops. Frozen 6-2. Again, top 2 performers of the tournament so far. And sure, I was adding that caveat earlier. But on this last map, those guys are living up to the hype right now. They are just brutalizing NIP. So here we go. Buy round coming up for NIP. Again, rifles in play, decent nades. And now we get Device with the AWP. How does he decide to go up against MOUSESPORTS? Because Acor doesn't have an op of his own. And so Device solo B again.
Well, there'll be a challenge. Frozen hunting with an iceberg in his hands. There's that pop flash for top banana, but there'll be no aggressor. Pop flash for the half wall.
Yep. Boom.
And a swing. And banana is clear. Now let's see how long Device will be trusted in this position. At what point is it that NIP will rotate a second player over, for example?
All that bomb starting to peel back. Frozen and BMAS playing as a duo here towards B. Dexter, Acor, and Rops over towards A right now.
This is the Moto smoke if he jump throws it. There we go. It is deployed from the barrels.
Time to sell the fake.
This pop flash is for almost everywhere on the bomb site. We'll see if it does Device as well. He'll deliver the first kill onto Frozen. A smoke to create some space for himself. 35 seconds. Playing around the headshot position. He's got some help coming on the way as well. And here comes the push. They're going over the barrels. He found himself a 1v1, but didn't see in time. And down goes Device. Robs now to deal with the rotation. He's done half the job. Acor planting for the fountain. So, oh, the smoke has gone from CT. And now there's trouble. 14 seconds. He's got to plant a bomb somewhere. Bemis will be holding wide now as Plopsky delivers the first kill and a second. They can rescue the AWP as well before they defuse the bomb.
Hopefully that incendiary doesn't spread onto them. And yes, they should be able to recover the AWP. Rez going to take the hit on that one. Fair enough. So they'll save that gun, and that is a fine retake indeed. That off of Rops, nearly cutting off that full rotation. Nice first shot there from Device. Plopsky applying the pressure, and that was sick, man. His aim, that was gross. Rops is so brutal. But there we go. 5 rounds in a row picked up for MOUSESPORTS before NIP can finally muster a defense. And now they get full nades for NIP. They get to fully put in their plan. So Device is rotating back over towards A now that he's shown that he was holding anchor B. Hampus and Plopsky can get their protocol running over here towards Banana. So there will be the change in strategy here. MOUSESPORTS now have Acor with the AWP of his own, however, holding mid initially.
Man, these are fast-moving rounds from MOUSESPORTS. They want their map control. They want to keep NIP off top mid, it seems. Just constantly aggressing there pretty promptly. They've got a minute 30 to play with as they take it. You can see the off angles being held. I do wonder if MOUSESPORTS will take, if NIP will take the fight to them in this regard, with the amount of time this is giving MOUSESPORTS, and they so close to catching them off guard again. Really unorthodox timing to what most people are doing.
This is bad news bears for Device, though. What do you do? Because now you're going to be worrying about a 50-50, and he's got Hampus to rotate over here to watch to help out Watch Arch. Okay. Nice shot from Device, but DMS can't get something. Yes, Hampus finds that kill. So important. Now the remaining 3 players from MOUSESPORTS about to hit up short onto the A side. Rez only not even able to get the one.
I would expect a second player in the pit. ZTR is here as well. ZTR was here. Now we got Graffiti from MOUSESPORTS. Down goes Plopsky top mid. This is getting explosive. That's a wide peek from Hampus and a fast shot with the AK-47, but still he remains in a 1 versus 2 after that kill. He's got 2 in this round so far, but not enough it seems. Frozen and Rops could double peek him as we can see them on either side of the pit. The smoke is soon dissipating. Frozen will surely peek eventually. Hops up on the Vespa and thinks better of it, falls away. And we'll see round number 6 for MOUSESPORTS.
Save the AWP. That is a spot that you can count on seeing ZTR in the pit. He plays it pretty much religiously. And so definitely MOUSESPORTS should be clearing that out. Until you get that kill on ZTR, just assume that he's going to be somewhere around there. So I'm glad to see that MOUSESPORTS do not get ahead of themselves and they take the time to clear out the different parts of that bomb site before trying to go for that plant. They did try and go for a really good defense, but it's just not happening there for NIP. And so we will get a tactical timeout called by the Ninjas. They saved the AWP, but this might just be a tac timeout getting called here to try and slow down the pace a little bit as well. Not let things get too out of hand here.
Yeah, MOUSESPORTS have had a pretty fast pace in terms of initial map control, as we saw in that previous round towards top mid. Their peaks in towards B as well, way before NIP are expecting, and they're catching them off guard, and that may condition NIP to use their utility earlier when they have it.
Look at the scoreboard between these two teams right now, though. 4 kills on 4 of the NIP players, and then ZTR with 3, and then Rops is on the other side with 11. 6 kills follow-up for Frozen.
He's having a great time, Rops.
Rops is just taking off. He's like, right, this is my map. But it's kind of like what we saw on Nuke, or Overpass, rather. Overpass from Acor, where he just started super strong for MOUSESPORTS and really got the ball rolling for him. Well, here on Inferno, Rops is doing a lot of work for MOUSESPORTS.
Double AWPs now. Hampus with the second one towards this B bomb site. He's holding off angles. Acor with a rare miss, and Hampus will deliver on his next attempt. They see 2 players at least towards Banana. Keeps hammering some shots through the half wall there as Frozen's waiting for an overextension. But what is the response now? They know Hampus is on an AWP, and he's probably not playing a spawn, so there's likely to be 2 AWPs here. That much should be clear for MOUSESPORTS. You can see Plopsky moving in for the pop flash. Oh, the timing is absolutely perfect. Thank you for playing. 4 versus 2. This is exactly the kind of round Ninjas in Pyjamas need. They need to be raising the aggression versus MOUSESPORTS, who felt firmly in control in most, if not all, of these rounds. Hampus now with some map control to do. Rez on the flank, buying time for this rotation. ZTR can offer incendiary as well, if he's there in time. Now lining up for Rez. Rops behind the coffin. Don't think he was spotted by Rez there. Just holding the angle. He's got a shadow advantage as well, but what if they come the other way first? 180 from Rops. Fakes the shot from Hampus, but ZTR will save once again. 3 players alive for NIP as they get just their 3rd round from 9 on the CT side.
ZTR again with the save, man. What a hero. This guy just keeps saving his teammates in the last possible instant. But Hampus and Device, I mean, they've shown their hand. They've shown that they're going for double AWP. But, I mean, keeping both ops alive is what's worked so far. So just roll with it at this point. So critical that they keep both of those AWPs in play here. And now we get to see if NIP can actually start to build a little bit of a bank. MOUSESPORTS are just filthy rich, so no worries there for them. They've got all the money that they could want. So full buy on their side, and once again, full on battle. No 3 to be early, though, so Frozen really trying to press the advantage, or at least put a little bit of pressure on this CT defense on B. Eats a nade for his troubles, though. But he gets the info, knows that Hampus is over there. They've shown a little bit of presence, but now this is the change of pace here from MOUSESPORTS. Rops and BMAS taking over apartments. Rez, Device, and ZTR, though, setting up for a crossfire. Aggro hold here on the A site. There's the shot from Device. Not sure if Acor spotted him, though. Looks like he did.
He can't have seen him. Oh, he's going real deep, and Rez is just playing anti-flash in the meantime, trying to pre-fire Dexter, but you know there's multiple peekers coming. Somehow gets a second kill out of it, but the remainder of NIP over towards the B bomb site won't get here in time to take position. There's a smoke for Frozen to put up towards long if he wants it. He is top mid for now, however. Plopsky and Hampus now. Hampus will make his way towards T-spawn. So it will be safe territory for Ninjas in Pajamas. Very strong Mousesport, strong as an ox on this T side, moving towards their 7th round.
Yeah, looking so good. That was such a promising setup. Device just getting outgamed, however. I mean, Rez was playing anti-flash, right? So he's not like he's watching for A-Core to run up there. He's fully expecting the flash peek coming in from Mousesports. But Mousesports, the Mad Lads, just decided to go for the dry peek, like nothing to announce them. That is such a cool little detail there from Mousesports. And it works perfectly against Nip's setup. So 7th round picked up on the T side early on here as well in the half for Mousesports. Still plenty of rounds to be played out here. So things can get worse for the Ninjas. I mean, Banana has been fairly decent. They haven't gone 3 towards B and IP. Haven't really felt like they needed to go for that. I'm curious if that's how you try and get in there. 3 towards B, just slam HEs into Frozen. Because Frozen is willing to get in there and try and take damage early, so you may be able to pull a fast one on him.
Yeah, they've got good utility to offer something towards Banana. We'll see if they do it with 2 AWPs in play. They certainly need more than 3 rounds here, Ninjas in Pajamas. But it always feels like Mousesports are in control. They like to keep the pressure up, keep them money poor. A-Core had a good tournament so far. All ping on the T side of Inferno, not the easiest task. Hampus likes himself a shot through this half wall, as we have seen. Got to be careful there about your timing. A-Core on the logs now. Moves into position. And Plopsky will be playing anti-flash as rifle support. And again, there's 4 incendiaries. It's very different from NIP. Not really fighting for Banana as one might expect. But again, with 2 AWPs on deck, I didn't expect they might on this particular round. And into the peak he goes. It was just being waited for there, Hampus. And there may be trouble ahead for Ninjas in Pajamas on this B-bomb site. Mousesports very prepared, very aggressive, very decisive on this T side of Inferno. There'll be some support grenades. Frozen making his way through the smoke. Plopsky looking as best he can, but Dex will win a duel on the site, and the site's been taken. Rops lurking as well to take out the rotators, should they choose to. But 3 versus 4, well, they are backing off once again. But they're running out of rounds even to saving at this point, Ninjas. Can't do this forever.
And Rops, look at Rops right now. This is going to be agonizing. They have no idea that he's here. Dude.
Merciless.
So does he catch that CR?
Oh, no.
This is a disaster. This is a disaster for the Ninjas.
Man like Rops has no sympathy for you. Does not care about your loved ones.
Yep.
There's another one. 15 for 4. Absolutely no craps given by Rops. He'll take it all away.
Must be nice to have Rops on your team. 15 kills, 4 deaths. Runner-up on his team has got 6. Everybody else on his team has got 6, essentially. I mean, it's only A-Core who's got 5. So, you know, it's just, then you got Rops. He's just dominating. He is the raid boss on this map.
He's a tax man.
Yeah. Death and taxes. Death and Rops.
Hand in hand.
And now they put 3 towards B, Nip. So interesting. We'll see if Mousesports take the bait or not. No nades to announce their presence. Plopsky is waiting on one. Waiting on a cue to throw that HE around the corner. ZTR and Device locking down the A side for now. And Mousesports, man, is just so patient. Not rushing, not risking anything. Managing their utility. Now they have top banana control. And you can just be steady with this. You've had Rops clear out apartments as well.
Sentry man Frozen. He's got taps as well. Lurk smoke from Ninjas in Pajamas to ward off the intentions of Mousesports. And Mousesports still has good control. Rop's always in the apartments. Prefers to be indoors, does Rop's.
Just leaving Frozen. And in the meantime, that's Rop's getting bopped. A little bit of damage getting dealt there by ZTR. Must have clipped the wall for him not to be a one-shot. And now does ZTR have it? Oh no, decides to change it up. He's going to be playing from the site, looking for those body shots.
That clock's ticking. Frozen with a nice sweep, but there are 16 seconds to plant this bomb. That's a very important frag from Dexter. Plants the bomb for the pit, standard stuff. They know where Hampus was towards B bomb site. He'll be holding on to the Jaguar AK. Maybe the reload was heard by Rop. Saw the taxman cometh again. See if he finds what he's looking for. Oh, he's good thing he's crouching. Oh, no! Oh, he's just
wait, he just keeps going over the shoulder.
I'm curious if it's going to land. Oh, wow.
Wow. Is sick.
I've never seen somebody boost there before. The taxman's on the way. Surprise.
That's amazing.
But you didn't see him coming from that angle. Man, no mercy. There's no mercy from MOUSESPORTS.
All right, 9-2-3 on the T side of Inferno, MOUSESPORTS. And they're just having their way with the ninjas. Yeah, just watching the retakes. I mean, they're just hitting all the shots, and then they're toying with them at the end. No guns saved, no nothing. So just utterly brutal. But now with full buy, we're going to get 3 ninjas towards B early on. Device and Plopsky here. Device and Hampus both here because it's Rez with the AWP on short this time. This is going to make things interesting here. And that was a must-win fight for Plopsky. Gets the best of Frozen, who is just running and dry. Nothing to help him.
Yeah. Hampus AWP wasn't really having the desired effect. Very different approach to Device.
What can Rez hope to do now, though? He's got Hampus to get his back here. Plopsky's rotated as well. Device is looking towards Banana. He says that nobody is there. Exactly. You can see all the way down to bottom mid. This is big. A lot of information to play off of here for NIP.
That is a smoke grenade. Rez posted up, but he has concerns towards the long area. Once again, they are slowly being out-positioned. Plopsky falling back through the arch smoke. Rop's looking for something. Spots Rez by double stack. Wonder if he recognizes the scope of the AWP. And Dexter is creeping as well, standing in the smoke. And disaster looms for ninjas in pajamas as MOUSESPORTS just close in on them and choke them off. Dexter looking for targets now. He has multiple. He can see them at the very least, but he needs to get the frag. Props and Beamers will do that. Although Device and Plopsky will close things out. A rare round for ninjas in pajamas on their CT side. 6 is still possible.
6 is definitely possible. They have money. They have what they need. They just need to actually have the winning strategies here. And they can go for the bombardment and Banana as well if they want. And yeah, 3 towards B again here for NIP. So again, you can go for multiple nades towards B and just hope to catch them out. This time around, this would be brutal. Acor, Frozen, both in Banana. But NIP only putting the single incendiary in. What a shot from Device. Bold. Takes the fight with Acor, wins it straight up. Plopsky, not sure if he spotted him, but Device is there to get his back.
Yes.
Must win kills.
Completely different scenario with Device on the AWP down Banana. Warning shots being rattled off. Present still being shown. MOUSESPORTS are not quite done with Banana just yet, it seems. Plopsky will head towards the A bomb site where Rez is waiting on along with the AWP. Playing that pillar position. Rez creeping towards short now, which is where you want to go if you want to move back up towards top mid later on. But for now, he'll be posted up. 49 seconds on the clock, and there's lots of jiggling from Rob's beat. Takes one. Key press too far. Dexter and Beamers now to try and stop ninjas in pajamas, making it to a 5th round. But Rez resets his angle, and this will prove problematic for Dexter. And then there was Bemis. He can make it expensive for NIP moving into the last rounds. But Need a fair few frags, so not only get the 1, is NIP make it to 5.
This is the double op working wonders. 3 for Rez, 2 for Device. Let's go. All of your ops getting the kills. That's exactly why you spent the big bucks on them. To just cut down these angles, to hold these long lines. Device with that second kill was crucial. But what wonderful work coming in from the Ninjas, at least managing to kind of get their heads back in this game here towards the end of this first half. 9-5, still possible to do 9-6. And again, 3 towards B early on. And this time we may get more of a bombardment. Yes, we will. A bit more of that nade pressure getting thrown in here by NIP, hoping to catch somebody out from MOUSESPORTS. But MOUSESPORTS, they went aggro last round. They don't fall for it again.
Yeah, very aggressive positions. Beamer's jumping into the apartments. Has that been heard? Well, I guess he's got ZTR for cover. There's a pop flash, though. And your play is dismantled. That has to force Rez forward a little. There's only one way out of here, and that is with brute force.
But they have no idea that Rez is here. Rez can gut them. Oh, he gets one. Oh, he got a tag.
And there's the AWP as well. Akor's got a decision to make, and Rez will go back towards the site with the AWP. See how deep he peeks. Akor takes out the flanking device in the meantime. That's the can opener of the B bomb site down. They start to rotate away now as NIP need to figure out the climate towards top mid, and they realize they've made a grave mistake with Device, the man, he's the anchor of B when he's there with the AWP. With him down, the site's open. Bomb site taken by MOUSESPORTS now. There is a HE for Rez, but he is not close enough to stop this bomb plant from happening. It is Hampers who's elevated. That delay may certainly help things. These footsteps won't deter the bomb plant, however.
2 through their construction as well, so they can trade for each other. This is what needs to happen here, spacing. Oh, that is just terrible. Dexter getting both kills, and now it's all on Rez. He's done 1v2, an impossible situation. He does manage to get the smoke down off a banana. But now Dexter, what is going to happen? He's just going to get the perfect flank. 10-5 for MOUSESPORTS at the end of the half.
6 rounds away from victory here. MOUSESPORTS move into this second half with double the score of Ninjas in Pajamas. Will that be enough? We'll find out after the break.
I would put Dust 2 on the B list. I think it's a classic map. It's not so tactical, but it's very simple map to call on. So that's why I always liked it. It's been a map I played since I was a kid, so it has to be in the middle pack of the map pool. Inferno is going on the highest. Even though we lost the busted major on it, I love the map. There's always a meta change on the map. Then you play heavy banana, then you do mid stacks. And what I love the most, it's very, very hard to call on the map. And I love things that are hard to do. So that's why I love the map. It has to be a style. It's my favorite map of all time. Tactical, and also NVIDIA has been my favorite map of all time. I know it's boring for some people, but I just love this map. I don't know. I have so deep respect for this map. Definitely the highest ranked on my list. It's a classic map. I would put it on the B next to us too. And not so many interesting things from a caller perspective. NVIDIA player, I always play kind of the boring roles here, so it has to be the B tier. Overpass, I put on a C tier. It could have been a D, but the map looks cool. It's German map, so I'm half German, so that's why I have to put it there. I love to play the MOUSESPORTS. I think it's one of the maps I played the best, I think. Results and face haven't really justified to be there. I have to think from one perspective, I like the map, even though it is pretty simple map and not much have changed, but I just enjoyed playing it. Because I might get to play double op sometimes, that's always a plus. Yeah, I have to put it in D. I like playing the map, but the vertical sounds, it's always fight for ramp, ST, so it's not really, like I said, Inferno is really hard to call on, and Vertigo is a pretty simple map if you ask me.
Vertigo in D tier, I can certainly agree with that, Mr. Carrigan, but Overpass has to go up the list, surely. We are on the second half of Inferno now. Ninjas in Pyjamas mustered 5 rounds on a very difficult CT half, I think it's fair to say. MOUSESPORTS look very dangerous indeed. Taxman rocks in the apartments. Probably continue there in the second half. 16-4-7 proving to be a problem, as he always is on Inferno. We'll see what he can do here in the second half, looking for an eventual peak in mid, and it just continues.
Boom.
Start as you mean to go on. Disgusting fashion from Rops all day.
Dude. All right, let's see. Rops, he goes back for more.
Oh.
Spotted, however. Losing that element of surprise, and now, well, Nip, they're looking a little flustered. Hampus, though, going to step into this to take down Acord. Nearly takes down Dexter as well. So close to the double kill.
Beamer spots the rotation, still alive as well. And Frozen has a warning. He's got a flashbang, but not really a position with which to use it as he falls back to the site, and maybe he can deploy some kind of funky flashbang now. They're all going towards headshot. Shot his teammate there, actually. Dexter again with 2. Dexter has such impact with the frags as well, not just an in-game leader. Rops and Bemis start to make their way. It's going to be an awkward spot for him, but Bemis has the sound cues now. You can tell Rops that he can head forwards. Device at the back of the site with the Glock. Need to avoid these ranged headshots from a 5 HP Rops do. Ninjas in Pyjamas, they really have to win this pistol round here. Neither of these players have a kit for MOUSESPORTS. Maybe there's one on the site, not sure, but they've got to get the kills. They must pursue. Beamer's trying to draw them out, but not making a fatal connection. Device still in this corner. Down he will go. They may have done enough now. 10-second defuse coming through. Trying to hold the angle is Bemis, but is there time? There might be. I'm not sure he's going to make it. It's going to be a close one. Oh, my God.
Dude, that is unbelievable.
Man like Rops.
You cannot cut it any closer than that. You cannot cut it closer to anything. No kit on the defuse. And Nip missing the shots. Dexter as well. You're right, man. It's absolutely unreal, the value that that guy gets. Coming through the smoke, guts 2 Nip players. I mean, that's everything that he had to do in that sort of situation. He overperformed massively. And so we're back to winning ways for MOUSESPORTS in these pistols.
They didn't win the first half pistol, but they may as well have, because they won the reset afterwards. It's as good as.
Nip want to do the same thing. 4 Galils and ZTR with the Deagle, and there's Hampus catching out Acor to start things off. So already a strong start for Nip in this round. Absolutely possible that Nip win this round and do the same thing that MOUSESPORTS did to them in the first half.
Oh, that grenade hit the wrong part of the wall there. Frozen sees a lot of players on Banana. Gets his bell rung with a jump peek as well. They've seen that one before. 12 HP. They might just go through this if they believe he's the only person there. But you never know what's around the corner. In they go. Flashbang. They're confident, MOUSESPORTS. Frozen hiding for dear life, and down he goes. Somewhat inevitable once the push came through. Beamer's getting boosted up, but they're waiting for that. This goes from bad to worse for MOUSESPORTS. Taste their own medicine, and the medicine tastes disgusting.
Indeed. Rob's just hanging back with that M4, not going to want to give away that for free to NIP. They would love to take this gun out of his hands, as well as the kit, Kevlar, and smoke. So let's see, does Rob survive this or not? There's the swing. Multiple players. He hears footsteps all over the place, so this is going to be a spicy one. Not going to find it. Hampus saves an M4, and Plopsky saves the M4.
Game on.
Yep.
Now we have a mirror.
This is it. All right, let's see. First half ended 10-5 in favor of MOUSESPORTS. And it is literally the exact same thing, just flip it.
Yeah, both CT sides now get reset. But Ninjas in Pyjamas have to survive the force buy in order for us to be in similar territory. That will still be a big test for them. 3-2 set up for MOUSESPORTS at the beginning of this round.
Device has got to be feeling pretty good, though, right now at least, because he has not put up that individual performance that we saw in the first 2 maps of this series, but his teammates have stepped up instead. Plopsky and Rez doing work so far on this map. So now it's going to be on NIP to set the pace. It's going to be on them to decide. And that's going to feel good, because I bet it was starting to get a little bit frustrating there towards the end of that first half with MOUSESPORTS just rolling over them everywhere. Now NIP get to show what they have prepared for us here.
No smokes for MOUSESPORTS. Flashbangs and headshots is what they have to offer. Acor has kept money in the hole for the AWP worst case scenario. And maybe worst case scenario is starting for Ninjas in Pyjamas as Frozen lands a headshot. There are the flashbangs I spoke about. Just fishing again, and Frozen says hello once more. Such a strong player for MOUSESPORTS. Suddenly we find ourselves in a 5 versus 3, made 4 as Acor with the USP will push to his doom. Bemis with a flashbang, but he can't save Frozen. In comes that flash, it's a push through the smoke, but Ninjas in Pyjamas are surviving. Maybe even thriving.
They're putting a halt to the shenanigans. Oh no, the smoke clears right as the bomb is getting planted in the open. Rop's the last one. So now with 20 seconds left, they are going to be able to get that bomb planted. They don't know where Rops is coming from, but you can see ZCR just going to get it right on the edge. But this is the M4 they left behind. And Rops with a golden opportunity now to just utterly ruin the Ninjas. He's got Kevlar as well. He's primed to fight. Now it's just a matter of the element of surprise. Can he catch him peeking? Yes, he can. A little bit of a shot. Now do Nip trying to swing on him? Do they try and play bold?
Whoa.
Yes, they do. There's the headshot flash as well. Nip fighting back. Not going to let Robs dictate this. And there it is. ZTR taking him down.
Damn, I respect those brazen peaks. The pre-fires, the headshot. I think most players would hide there. But Robs could make it his way to that headshot position, and then things could get really weird. So good damage done there with the Deagles.
Yeah, Frozen is scary, dude. That is just, those are disgusting deegs. 11-7. 11-7, and so now is going to be the hard eco coming in from MOUSESPORTS, and we should get 11-8 in a few moments here for NIP. 3 rifles, 2 MAC-10s, and again, NIP like to lead with the MAC-10s. Get them in the positions to make some money. Device taking point towards B.
Uh-oh.
ZTR clearing out apartments. Hampus has to be careful, though. He's down to 2 health.
Oh, this is awkward. Not a USP round, surely. Not a USP round. Device has made his way in towards the B bomb site. He can try and clear it with the MAC-10. Nobody is here, but the bomb is deep. It has to be collected from T-ramp and then rotated over. And MOUSESPORTS will make their way over as well, it looks like. They've got just the 1 rifle in the hands of Frozen. No Kevlar. 2 heavily tagged players in Acor and Bemis with a combined 15 HP. Now Device's position will be key. They will be cut to ribbons here with ease. Bonus money for the sniper of Ninjas in Pyjamas. I'm curious to see his approach on a T side of Inferno in this series again. So much stronger after the plant. And Acor will be out with the AWP immediately.
Yeah, no wasted time from Acor, and Device himself had plenty of money, but he decides to just get that AWP. He has the M4, not even going to bother with it. So interesting. Just playing with the M4, not even going to turn to the AWP yet. MAC-10 on ZTR held onto that one. And Device taking point in Banana. Sam, hell is going on here? All right, Dexter close. Device is definitely close enough to hear that as well. Ready for these kinds of shenanigans. Dexter might just try and push all the way through. Dude, Dexter all the way through to bottom mid. Hampus is going to turn around. Free kill.
Oh, Device now. Oh, he gets jump peaks as well, despite the position of Dexter. That is ridiculous. Dexter between 2 smokes and between 2 Ts. And Device, oh, what a bizarre round this is. Barely alive, Device, 3 HP. What is happening? How is that a thing?
That is outrageous, and how aggressive Dexter is.
It's just wasting time for Ninjas as well, dealing with all of this. In the meantime, MOUSESPORTS have cleared top mid, and they look to rotate some plays over towards this B bomb site. So this becomes more and more bizarre this round. Now do you drive peek into Acor? You know he's got an AWP somewhere. Rez has taken position back, however.
Yeah, I like that, and that forces Acor to have to give up top mid, and that's all you need to do. You don't need to overextend, because the aim is to hit the B site. With 4 players alive, full set of nades on 2 of them, nearly, you can get a good execute going onto this B site and really set yourself up for success. BMS, though, that was an impeccable peek. Rez is out of the fight, but he was already low. Now can Frozen and BMS ruin the Ninjas?
Oh, there's the lineup. And then Plopsky's dealt with afterwards. One of those two players, ZTR device, was super low. So he was gone immediately. And then the rest was very nice for MOUSESPORTS indeed. 12-8 for MOUSESPORTS. Their second round on the CT side after winning and losing the pistol. It's their first round after that.
What? We're going to get a 4-spot? Oh, never mind. I'm silly. Just like looking straight at the money. Now I look at what they've actually bought. It's not too bad. After the purchases. But now, let's see, Acor. Plopsky's back in his rightful place. And Banana, so he is the one having to dodge the nades. Smokes through, flashes in, ineffective, and Dexter cannot be allowed to escape this alive. He cannot get out of this, and there it is. Nicely done by Plopsky.
Very nicely done indeed. Now, what is stage 2 of this round for the Ninjas? 3 AKs in the UMP, reasonable utility. They've got mollies for an execute into this B bomb site. They could molly Dark and New Box at the same time if they wanted to. Smoke being lined up for the coffin position. There's the utility. Frozen, though, makes life worse before he exits the situation. A swing and a miss from Acor with the flick of the AWP. Maybe looking to molly a bomb plant now, just hiding behind the rocks in the meantime. Showing some presence. Plopsky close. There's that default plant Molotov from 2 directions, actually. Style points. 3v4 post plant for NIP should they be able to plant the bomb. That's best case scenario. They may lose a player beforehand. Acor continues to creep now. There's a huge headshot onto Plopsky. They can't trade it. He wants to go back. He's gone a bit too far. 20 seconds to plant the bomb. And we've got Rops now on the way. His device rounds onto the site from the banana position. The taxman is here. There will be no bomb plant. MOUSESPORTS make it to 13.
And this is where it starts to get dicey because now NIP, after that round, they've spent all their money. I think Rops right now, he just had too much of an impact in that first half. Gave too much of a lead over to MOUSESPORTS. And NIP are just struggling to make up for that now. You go to either bomb site, you're dealing with Frozen or you're dealing with Rops. It's just it's such a difficult situation in terms of the fragging output. Both of those players are just nuts. The top 2 rated players in the tournament so far. And, well, right now they're showing you why. They get a chance, they kill you. Oh. Device, though. Never mind.
Pistols for Ninjas. This is slipping away from them. Well,
it is.
I don't think they actually had a grip on it in the first place, it feels like. It's been a difficult game of Inferno for the Ninjas. MOUSESPORTS looked very strong on the T side.
Just Butterfingers right now.
Frozen, willing to engage. The man believes in himself. Can see Plopsky and Rez heading towards mid. That'll be heard, and Plopsky will be forced forward. Down he goes. And then there were 3 pistoleros, all towards the A-bomb site. It's working to the boiler position, stops a 2-pronged swing, let's say. Acor will deliver that against that challenge, and Rob starts to creep forward now, looking for a second one, almost finding it, but BMS will clean up. MOUSESPORTS now 2 rounds away from victory here at FlashPoint 3.
And a decisive victory at that. Utterly decisive. They're 1 round off of getting called the... being said that they got dumpstered on this last map. 16-7, 7 rounds is usually the cutoff. 8 rounds is like, okay, you lost, but you know, it wasn't pretty. If they can start getting a little bit more fight here, though, NIP, I mean, it's not done yet. This is CSGO after all. MOUSESPORTS still have to get to 16. But right now, NIP, they're looking a little vacant. So again, nade combat going down in Banana, just trying to figure out what's going on there. What's the plan? Smoke towards logs as well, just trying to cut Banana in half. And that's Device taking a lot of damage right now, trying to support Plopsky, trying to help to keep him alive.
Really fighting MOUSESPORTS. A lot of aggression in the apartments and on Banana as well. We've got frags on either side for Ninjas in Pajamas, and maybe this is a break they needed.
certainly. Without a doubt. You can already see just Frozen giving up B. Like, okay, fully stack on this A site. Rez, Hampus, ZTR clearing out apartments. Plopsky's rotating the bomb towards A, though. This would be an utter disaster for NIP if they walked onto the A site now with all 3 players of MouseSports here. Device, though, thankfully, is still over here on the B side, but he's selling a fake. He's just selling a fake. He's already going to rotate off. They are going to hit the A site here, NIP, and this is where MouseSports have put all their defense. Or does Device realize? He hasn't heard any noises. No fresh smoke thrown up to block off B. He may call this off. I don't know. Is there enough time for them to rotate off?
Oh, for sure there is, yeah.
30 seconds.
Absolutely. They've got unlimited utility as well. See that rotation begin, start racing away. There's a smoke in mid, and Ampus has an angle. Wow. That is a costly loss. The AWP, perhaps it can be rescued, but there'll be problems for MouseSports. And suddenly NIP might not feel that far away from them.
8 seconds to spare. What a play. What a play from Device, realizing that there was something amiss with that B defense. No follow-up smokes, no follow-up nades once his fakes had been thrown out. And now you can take down B-Mass. Frozen should be falling next at the hands of Device, and they take away all of the aspects of saving there from MouseSports. What a fantastic round from NIP, completely turning that around. A kill on each side, and then Device long in the tooth, the veteran, the major champion, all the experience. You can see why. And just again, to remind you all that these teams are fighting to make it back to the major, going down in Stockholm at the end of the year. One of the several of events that you can use, that you can gain points at by competing. And so this is the grand finals, and the points, all of these points matter.
Pistols out for MouseSports now. They know a boost is there, hunting the players.
Acor's like, please don't look.
Desperately trying to survive, but denied. Well, they know a third player is over here as well. But he may wait it out, that smoke. I'd recommend it. Hold on a second, we've got a 3v3. Oh, what?
Through the smoke.
Dexter, hello. Oh, no. What on the hell just happened?
Through the smoke, he gets 2?
Like this? Oh, man. Just when you thought it was safe for Ninjas in Pajamas to start making a comeback and count how many buys MouseSports had.
Those
My
Deagles
God.
are insane.
Rops' angle as well. He'll be playing off of Bemis's position. And it gets worse. So patient with the Deagle. Rops now swinging around the side. 28 HP for ZTR as Dex is on the way with an AK-47 and Kevlar. He's got a molly and a HE. Ooh, you're in trouble.
This is going to be so difficult now. With the molly, he can throw that into the back corner. I mean, there's so... Okay, to be fair, retaking A is a nightmare. There are so many places that he can be hiding. But the Molotov right onto ZTR.
My oh my God. It just isn't fair. MouseSports strong at every angle, it seems. Match point on the way for MouseSports. And a few of them versus Ninjas in Pajamas, who were in anti-eco territory. What kind of a round is that from Dexter? Look at him, he's just laughing. He's like just hilarious.
Unreal.
My God, what even was that?
3 kills with a Deag and then a clutch, perfectly placed molly. Let's see though, I'm sure we're gonna get the replay. 1 shot through the smoke, 2 shots through the... Outrageous. And that is, I mean, a must-win round. That is such a huge win for MouseSports. Match point now, 6 of them, and the Ninjas cannot be pleased. What do we have next here as they are going very quickly up into apartments now? Rops is going to have some fun with this. Just letting them know. Keeping them honest. But it will be the pop out of apartments in a moment as the smoke goes up. This is going to make things a little bit more interesting. Smoke goes up. There's the flash over the top. Rops manages to make it out, and Rops and BMAS catching him in a crossfire. 2 kills. Rops chiming in again.
Yeah, he has a chance. Has to deliver, though. Device will make it 2 versus 2. Puts a molly up behind the smoke on long. Hampus, what are you up to? Oh, he's got caught throwing mollies out. He had to make his way to the site. He was the bomb carrier there. trying to do too much, I think, and that leaves the Vice in a 1 versus 2. Everything going wrong for Ninjas in Pajamas late on here on an Inferno. Hasn't spotted that they're both on long device. But that bomb is in no man's land, and surely it's a matter of time until they peek him. Because he throws in there, and there's Dexter for the final kill. And MOUSESPORTS are your champions of FlashPoint 3.
What a performance from MOUSESPORTS. And Dexter, I mean, he can be pleased. It was worth leaving his child behind after all. He did it. He did it, Bardolph.
Brock's just staring at the webcam like, what do you got for me? My God. That was a great performance. They dropped, what, 1 map in the entire tournament?
Yeah, 1 map in the grand final, and that was a 16-13 affair with Nip on Overpass, and from there on out, utter domination. Just complete control from MOUSESPORTS on the following 2 maps. Nip showed some fight there at the end, but I mean, that is still a decisive victory for MOUSESPORTS. And MOUSESPORTS, I mean, just terrific. 2 of the top performers in the tournament on this team, they just look untouchable.
Yeah, safe to say that they're in pretty damn good shape. MOUSESPORTS looked amazing in this tournament from start to finish, and they will be taking home the glorious AK-47 you see on the stage there. Congratulations to MOUSESPORTS for winning FlashPoint 3 in almost flawless fashion.
Yeah, that glorious trophy again. Trophy that is here for FlashPoint. We've had AKs all along, but now this is the custom paint job for FlashPoint 3. Sick. Definitely one of the